Oh, good evening, everybody. Making sure that I'm early, and somebody is not backstage yet. He just got backstage. Technically, he's not late. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Tanner.
You thought I was going to be late?
You cut it so close. You were probably sitting there with the stopwatch saying, how close can I cut it?
Dude, it's still okay. Just turned 8:30.
Exactly. You got backstage like 10 seconds before.
I'm here, baby.
You're
Let's
here.
go.
You're here. Well, I'm very excited because I know you don't like me saying this. You should probably put the mic in front of me. I didn't realize it was over to the side.
Yeah, you sound much better now.
Yeah. You do not like me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Before I get into it, this calls for some whole milk. I know there is a little bit of talk, whether it be whole milk or yogurt. It's whole milk tonight for Tanner.
I swear I almost got a glass of milk.
Well, you need it if you're trying to get bigger.
I was going to make this whole joke about how it was a 2025 vintage and everything, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. He's not going to have milk. I'm going to look stupid. But no, you have the milk.
Of course I have milk.
Okay.
Milk for the milk gang. But in all seriousness, you do not like when I say this, but I need to give you a lot of credit and a lot of respect because you have called so many companies that most people didn't want to get into and didn't see the investment thesis. And you've been early on so many things. You were in NVIDIA before anybody that I know of. You were in NVIDIA before the pandemic. And when you and I talked about it before the ChatGPT moment, and when their revenue was stagnant, you were saying, Steve, just trust me, get in it. I didn't see the use case. And you were incredibly right. You've been early on Robinhood, SoFi, Nubank, so many companies. So the big question is, how do you find these companies? Where do you get your conviction? And how do you find new ideas before everybody else? Because unlike the running joke of you being late, you are incredibly early in your investment style.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I don't know, man. There's no well, yeah. I guess I don't like whenever you say that because I think it gives me way too much credit. But I don't know. I look for companies that I know and understand. I consider myself a total addressable market investor. So I don't want to buy companies that have a small potential. You want to try to solve some of the world's biggest problems. That's where I think there's some definite wins that could be made there. I hate whenever a company has any regulatory concerns. If a company is sort of fighting the government, I hate that. If the government wants your think Biden era solar EV, something like this. If you have those types of incentives, or you could even say about these mining companies and rare earth metals, like that's an unbelievable advantage to have in certain markets. Yeah, I don't know. It's a huge question. I just I try to look where the world's going and then buy the companies that I think are going to win. But I don't know if there's any magic sauce.
Well, I mean, you've definitely been at the forefront of a lot of different industries. I mean, you were on Shopify before many people. I think you were on ServiceNow before many people. I mean, it's not just NVIDIA. It's not just the banking. You've been in multiple different areas because you look for alpha and growth. So I want to know how you do it.
Well, I don't know. I'm holding Airbnb too, and Salesforce and everything. So sometimes you have to hold through some pretty ugly periods. I think that's a big part. Like looking back historically, you can say, oh, NVIDIA was an easy buy or something like this, but it wasn't easy. I mean, and the story has changed so much since whenever I bought it, which was a PC gaming company, as well as at the time that I purchased it, a Bitcoin mining opportunity, because a bunch of companies were, and not just companies, sorry, individuals were purchasing their chips to set up Bitcoin mining rigs back in like late 2018.
Yeah, when you bought NVIDIA, their revenue was less than $10 billion. And there was also a big dispute whether the GPUs for Bitcoin mining was AMD or NVIDIA, if you wanted the CUDA core or you wanted the RTX. And a lot of people were saying the 7700s, I believe, or maybe it was the 5700s, were the ones that you wanted. And they were doing the SL or Crossfire, whichever one is applicable to AMD, and running 3 or 4 to desktop. So, I mean, this was well before NVIDIA became the standard on Wall Street.
Yeah. But honestly, I didn't make too many predictions about who was going to win, AMD versus NVIDIA. I was just a personal NVIDIA, like for my own gaming rigs and everything like this back in the day. I was completely NVIDIA because I didn't want to care about overclocking and everything. I wanted to just buy the product in it to work. So I was always an NVIDIA fanboy. Everyone around me was. So I think that's more luck than anything, that I was just more drawn to their name versus the AMD products.
Well, okay. So if you want to call NVIDIA luck, which I don't believe you, but okay. What about SoFi and Hood? Because I think that you've been a shareholder for pretty long on both of those. And 2022 was not easy for anybody holding those companies.
No. I love how much credit you're giving me, but like those were really hard times, and probably not even the right investments to hold during those times, because they actually had a lot of headwinds because markets were slowing down, that you probably shouldn't have been holding SoFi during those markets. But I'm stubborn. I don't like quitting. So I held through on my investments because nothing was changing fundamentally on the company side. So just constant monitoring and re-underwriting of my businesses. If something was to change, I have sold out of companies. Like, I mean, I got out of PayPal. I've gotten out of Cash App. So I guess I've taken like 50 swings, and I've just continuously not cut my flowers to water my weeds. So it looks like I'm holding all the gems for long periods of time, but cut the ones that don't work and double down on the ones that are, and you'll look like you're holding some amazing gems, which I am. I mean, I've done phenomenally, but it's not like I'm batting 1,000. I'm just making sure that I don't continue to double down on a mistake. And SoFi and Robinhood and NVIDIA and Shopify and all these ones have constantly proven that they're worth more and more in my investment, in my time and everything. So I've got no reason to take a profit right now if they're going to continue to grow.
So how often do you said that you cut the losers out. How often do you go through the portfolio and look at what's underperforming and make a decision of how you reassess?
It's not, I don't know if I do it like clockwork. I actually don't know if I know the answer. Like, just whenever I have some time, I'll look back on some additional names. I was just looking at a couple new names today, and I don't know. I'm not too, there's not too much philosophy behind it. It's just about, doing when you can. And now, because I'm doing this full time, I have a lot of time. So constantly looking at my portfolio.
Let's move off of NVIDIA. How did you find SoFi? Is that something that you and I have been involved with for a very long time? So how did you get involved, and what was the aha moment for you for that?
I think the first second I looked at the company, I loved it. The only problem was the valuation. So I looked at.
You're sounding like me now.
Yeah.
Using words like valuation, you're sounding like me.
I think I looked at the company and I'd have to check. 2021, something like, or actually, I think it was like December of 2021, because it was before they got their bank license and before Technisys and all of that. So whatever that lines up to is before they got their bank license. And I remember looking at all their metrics, and it was just like members were compounding at 50+% rates. It was growing across the board. They were taking market share in every single product. And I also saw the product, like what they were doing over time. They entered checking and savings, investments, a credit card, all of these things. And like an 18-month period, they just went from a student loan provider and personal loan provider to, an entire super app. And that was in quick succession. So I just loved everything about it, but it was such an expensive business. So I didn't buy. And I could probably bring up a chart, but the company had hovered between $14.50 and like $22, and it constantly fluctuated between there. So there was a time, and this was as the market was crashing, it dipped below its $14.50 sort of support. And so I started to buy. I didn't realize that was when we were going to get a multi-year, like, complete sell-off. But I just kept lowering my average and doubling down as their execution sort of decoupled from what the stock was doing. So I got really heavily into it. But it's not like my first buy, I was a super buyer. It became a super large position because I just kept adding.
Yeah, I think for me, it was seeing Noto at the Stanford interview that he gave, and then really doing the research and looking at how the younger generation doesn't utilize the traditional banking services the way that my generation does, and making educated guess on which companies would be the winners in the next generation of banking. And that's really how my SoFi journey started.
You know what? As you say that, there was a part that I remember Anthony Noto saying on an earnings call. Someone can go back and find it. I remember it today, where I was like, I need a piece of this business. One, it was also private investment. There was only like, I forget, 4 companies that have seen $2+ billion of funding in private businesses at the time, or in private investment at the time. It was like Amazon, Netflix. I forget the list of names, but SoFi was one of them. Like out of like 4 companies or 5 companies, it was quite an insane list. Now there would be a ton of AI names in there, but anyway. Anthony Noto said that they never take the easy route, and they always go the hard but more rewarding route whenever they do something in their business. And they talked about how instead of going through a rent-a-charter service and becoming like a true fintech, they went out to 50 different states and got the licenses for each 50 states to operate in, and then eventually going after a true nationally chartered bank license and doing it that way. So I just loved the fact that they were doing the harder, road less traveled, but much more rewarding on the other side. And so I was in love with management, love the business, and I love consumer fintech because it's so easy and it's what I use. And I just know that, every younger generation that we end up seeing is only going to go in that direction. They're not going to go into branch banking and accept, 0.1% APYs, which is essentially a tax on your wealth because inflation's doing worse than that. So you're losing money by going with the traditional players. That can't continue.
We'll see. I mean, hopefully you are correct, because that would make probably a lot of people in the chat very happy.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm like,
I don't know if I'm going to be correct either.
A lot of the ways that I invest too, because NVIDIA has done the best for me, but honestly, Tesla was one that I always leaned on because like so many people told me I was wrong on that name. Semiconductors and artificial intelligence, I just felt like a lot of people got that. But there was so many people, especially in my own personal life, that just were like, I'm never going to buy an EV. That's always going to suck, all of these sort of things. But if something is potentially cheaper, better solution, easier to use, you're always going to end up going to that solution. Doesn't matter how long it takes. That's where we're all going to go. Like stable coins versus traditional payment rails. It has to happen because it's faster, more safe, quicker, easier to use, instant settlement, completely verifiable. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but in the way that I invest, it's a guarantee in my eyes that we go towards blockchain unless regulation shuts it down. So that's why I look to, being regulation being one of those things that like you have to be on the good side of, because that's really the only thing that shuts down great technology. And right now, crypto is a great bipartisan issue. So I'm like super on that train right now.
Well, you just answered my next question about what are the next industries that you're going to gravitate toward.
AI and crypto. Those are the only two. And no one is, well, I can't say that, but like, I feel very, very strongly for that, and trying to find companies that intersect with the two is hard, but they're out there. Amazon probably being the greatest example. I was just talking about that today. Like, whenever you talk about a company that's going to benefit from every single advancement in technology, Amazon is on that list. Like full self-driving, robotics, artificial intelligence, helping with manual tasks, everything. Crypto, like Amazon.com, the way they make money is payments. They're a big payment ostracizer. So you end up lowering the cost of payments by 100 or essentially from 100% down to 1%, like lowering by 99%. That's stable coins. And that, like, Amazon's going to benefit a lot.
Well, that's interesting. So do you think when you say AI, are you just looking at the AI demand from data centers and chips, or are you going another level or two further in the value chain?
You mean as an investment, or what do I think AI will be?
No, as stuff you're looking for potential investments. Are you going further down the value chain, such as memory or cooling, that type of stuff? Or are you sticking with just the things that have been working with chips and just data centers?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, and that's probably to my weakness as an investor. Like, I think you honestly do give me too much credit. I can make it very easy on myself if I just invest in the NVIDIAs and the TSMs.
Well,
and
hold on. You guys stop saying I give you too much credit, because you are, and I don't know what you're up. We haven't discussed numbers or percentages, but if I had to guess, 200 to 300% on SoFi, I would have to guess 200 to 300% SoFi, 700 to 1,000% Hood, over 1,000% on NVIDIA. So I think you're doing pretty good.
Thank you.
So, and you're not denying it. So, I mean, it's, I'm not giving you too much. I'm giving you the credit you deserve.
Yeah, I also think something that I've been trying to do is buy on the way up. Some people have a really huge anchoring bias, and I had that before as well. And like, out of like just trying to get my reps in, I'm trying to buy and increase my averages in companies that I believe in a 5, 10, 25-year time horizon. And I think that there are going to be companies that I hold for 25 plus years.
Why do you think people have such a hard time buying on the way up?
I think we all expect some sort of correction or pullback 100% of the time. Like, people make it seem like there's froth right now. I mean, it's felt frothy since I've been an investor. Like, it's not like 2015 was a free time to invest. And everyone said, hey, everything's fair value, go ahead and invest. Like, it was, there was always tension. There was always articles coming out saying, hey, we're a little hot here. There's problems going on politically. 2018 was really hot. 2019 was really hot. 2020, 2021. Like, I mean, it's just constant. So I think that people always have a hard time buying going up because they think tomorrow is when pullback happens. The day that they purchase is when they could have put their money to work at a better price. And honestly, I think a lot of people miss out on like really great investments or really great returns because they think that they can get a better price tomorrow. When honestly, like, by the time the dip happens, the bottom of that dip, buying the absolute valley was probably still higher than whenever you would have just bought, a couple months ago or a couple of years ago. So I try to buy on the way up if I can. It's hard, but you just have to do it. It's just a rep that you have to do. You got to get your reps in.
And how do you stay so calm on the way down? Because I know that you've added, because we have all the private chats going, you've added to a bunch of different companies during fluctuations and periods of tension. So how do you stomach that?
So that one's really easy. I You listen to someone like Warren Buffett and you have to trust him, like go look at a chart of the S&P 500 and realize that this is not a gambling game. I talk to a lot of people and they think that like the stock market is like this parallel thing that goes up and down and up and down, but it's not true. Like it's like somebody on a trampoline going up an escalator. Like it's always going up. There's just fluctuations going up, but it goes up. So if I know 10 years from now that my investments, as long as I'm not buying a company that's going bankrupt, which is also what's leaning me now that I have capital to protect, to invest more in Mag 7 names that I don't need to chase the fast movers. I want like high flying tech names, but also, have balance sheets the size of countries. Like I think that's
I can't
just
believe I'm hearing this from you. This is amazing.
What do you mean? The majority of my portfolio is Mag 7.
You used to be Captain Growth. You're now,
I am Captain Growth, but you can buy growth. That's the craziest thing. Look at like the biggest names in the market are no longer ExxonMobil. They're friggin' Amazon, and Nvidia is the largest name right now. Are you suggesting that that's not growth? Because that is growth. The biggest names in the world are growth.
Look at the revenue. And I get into this argument a lot with people. Just because a company grows at 8 to 12% versus a company that grows at 30 to 40%. And I'm using those numbers because those aren't the actual numbers of the argument that I've made recently. But companies can add 30, 40, 50, 60 billion in a year and have a low percentage of growth, but it's still a huge amount of growth. But people look at the overall year-over-year percentage number like, oh, this company's not growing. I mean, PayPal is a good example of a company that people think is a dead company, but it's actually still growing. It's just when you become a much larger company, it's harder and harder to keep up and maintain those large double-digit growth rates. And I think that a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah. It is and PayPal's one that should have worked, but I honestly think that you need to, I don't know. It's not one that I'm buying right now.
Yeah, I have some theories on that one. I mean, I was in it. I'm not in it anymore. I've been evaluating getting back into it. There are things that worry me with it, even though the numbers look like it's just the biggest no-brainer value play. But there are things in the business that worry me at this point.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I'm not messing with it right now. I think there's other investments for me. And keep in mind, these are Tannor and my opinions. And what we do is probably not going to be applicable for most people. So just keep that in mind. Like we do a ton of due diligence, and everything we do is because we think it's going to work. Nobody should do something because we're doing
it. If there is one thing that I do think I have a strength in, just because it's been constant, is having an iron stomach whenever times go bad, because I constantly remind myself to, one, re-underwrite my businesses, my stocks, and then two, realize that I know people make fun of this statement, but historically it's true. Stocks go up. Like as long as the businesses continue to find more members, well, I mean, it depends on the type of business, but find more customers, try to improve margin. So that's one thing that I always try to look for is margin expanding, is revenue expanding, and then on top of that is margin expanding. If you can find both of those, then you're probably looking at a company that is in a hyper growth territory. If you can find that, especially during times where maybe multiples are a little bit lower historically, then you're looking to, like, that's whenever you push all your chips, you go all in. That's whenever we were like talking about buying into NVIDIA and, Hood and all of these names that have done so well during the April times, because it's like, okay, the Trump tariffs are going to happen, but at most it's going to happen as long as his term is here, like at most. Then he's going to get kicked out and then things will recover. Luckily, we didn't have to wait that long, but as long as you realize that things were going to turn around, you're still buying companies at way, way lower prices than they were before. Margin is improving, revenue is improving, and you only have to wait so long. And as long as they're not risking bankruptcy, then you're fine. Oh, and time horizon plays a big time in this. Luckily I'm young. This is not for everyone, but for me, my time horizon is essentially unlimited. So yeah, I'll be investing until I die.
Well, you brought up a good point. So before I move on that, I just want to say a couple of thank yous. First, thank you everybody in the chat that joined. It means the world to me that everybody is here. Thank you to everybody in the Milk Gang. We got some new members. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. And thank you for the super chats. Shout out to the Milk Gang from Canada, Tanner's home country. And somebody who's been in the videos, watching them. Yes, I did show a 5-ounce silver coin I keep on the desk. I'll show it again in a little bit. I actually think that silver and gold are going to continue to go up. That's just side note for me. But you said something about time horizon and an infinite amount of time and being able to take a step back and realize that eventually the markets turn. I don't think enough people take that step back. And really, whether it's the S&P or the NASDAQ, and I use the S&P as the barometer for me. And I said this in the past that I can stay so calm during periods of volatility, whether it was the ridiculous yen carry trade or the tariffs or high inflation, because I put a bunch in the S&P 500 and with a very long time horizon. And when you look at since 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever time period from a long-term perspective you want to look at, it doesn't matter what the macroeconomic or the geopolitical events were. Eventually, the markets turn. And for me, with the pandemic, you had the country and the global economy basically shut down to a snail's speed and then rebound. Now, regardless of why and the mechanics behind how it rebounded, it still rebounded. So are we in a position that is worse than at the height of the pandemic? We're nowhere near that. So what's the worst that's really going to happen? Okay, maybe the markets fluctuate for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. I don't think we're going to be in a period where it's going to be a downtrend for a couple of years unless something drastically changes. So I keep that in the back of my head, and it helps me be able to say my three famous words when you have a 2 or 3% down day, that I don't care because I'm not a short-term trader. So it truly doesn't impact me.
I agree.
I mean, it's how I look at the markets. I take a very long-term approach. And for you, I mean, you've been in some names for a very long time, and it just shows that you're willing to hold through different periods of volatility, even when things aren't easy. So
because I think the game is rigged in my favor. So honestly, I do think that later it will be higher, and margins, honestly, I think today we're going to see days where the S&P is much lower on a PE basis than where we are today. I think that will happen. But overall, I think we're going to have higher highs than where we are today overall, because there's just going to be more international money getting onto markets. I think that technology just overall improves markets. It increases the margins that companies can get to. It allows more participants in the market. There's so many just extremely broad tailwinds for the market. So it's hard for me to be bearish whenever, I know AI is overblown, but it's still here. Even though there was a .com boom and bust, the internet had still changed the way we do business. I mean, it was a great beneficiary or a great benefit to the markets. So I'm a super believer in artificial intelligence and crypto and all of these things that are going to just benefit margins in general.
I was not a believer in crypto for a very long time. There was only one that I really believed in, which was XRP. And I'm not going to go down the XRP road right now. I'm sure XRP Army would love me to, but I'm not going to. The Genius Act really changed my mind because we were in the Gensler era for so long, for better or worse, and the the Genius Act really provided a lot of clarity and paved the way for a lot of future endeavors. And when I look at where this is going and who is in the administration right now, and when you go back to the previous All In podcast, when David Sachs has talked to Chamath and other people like Brian Armstrong that they brought on, and you look at what his beliefs are and what his vision was, and for him to be the crypto and AI czar, and this is also one of the reasons why I was never worried about Alphabet, even with the lawsuit going on, because they must have gone on a 25 to 30-minute tangent about how breaking up Amazon and Alphabet would be the worst things for the US from the AI race. And so I really didn't believe that that was ever going to happen. So I am now very bullish on Ethereum because I do believe that we're going to have so much stablecoin utilization that it will turn Ethereum into a deflationary asset and drive the price up. And tokenization, if Vlad can push this over the line, I think that that's just going to expedite how much the deflationary effects are going to be.
But it goes back to my, is the government going to hurt?
That's crazy, by the way. Look at what Chris said.
Yeah, but of
That's
course,
crazy.
Is government going to assist or hamper your business? Now, the reasons why the government is potentially even remotely bullish on Bitcoin is to my surprise. I don't get that. I'm not here to hurt. I hold Bitcoin myself, but if there was a risk to the US dollar, it would be something like Bitcoin. Stable coins, however, benefit the US dollar. That allows for more institutional holders of US dollars. Like, think just supply demand. If there's more demand for US dollars, that's great for the strength of the dollar. So that's more people having, US treasuries. So I think that now that we are getting benefited by clear regulation for stablecoins, it is a guaranteed win. Like, I'm a super big fan that stablecoins will strengthen the usage of US dollars globally.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in this, especially when I see MasterCard, Shopify, and PayPal building their stablecoins on Ethereum layer 2. And it's just, to me, it's a no-brainer for me. So I don't know what's going to do better. That's why I am buying both Ethereum and BMNR. And I love the fact that you are really tracking the MNAV with BMR so closely. Did they buy anything today? I was busy all day. I didn't get a chance to look.
It does look like they bought about 27,000 ETH, but we don't get an update. We only get updates on Mondays, but there are a couple accounts that you can follow that track some associated wallets with BMNR that seem to suggest that whenever they're buying, that BMNR is buying. So it did look like they bought about 100 million today.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
what's ETH trading? I didn't look today.
I think it was under 10 or under 4,000. Yeah, it still is 3,988.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But that's when they buy.
Yeah. And look, averaging down's not a bad thing.
But I think some people too, like this is what I mean by iron stomach in investing. I'm not even remotely bothered. It doesn't remotely change how bullish I am on Ethereum. Like Alibaba, or at least Ant Group for Alipay, which has 1.4 billion users, just announced that they are building a layer 2 on Ethereum. Like, what are we talking about here? These are some of the largest tech companies and financial institutions that could join Ethereum. And you're seeing the biggest ones: Swift Network, JP Morgan, Alibaba, all of these. And I think like anything, like any technology, the more and more usage of that network, the higher it benefits the price. And Ethereum just got an upgrade today. They just got
more and more people are going to get on the Ethereum bandwagon, I think.
I think so.
So you made a comment about AI. Where do you see the most opportunity in the AI trade at this point?
What do you mean? Like a stock?
You don't have to say a specific company, but where are you focusing your research right now on stuff in AI? Because I have my own stuff that I'm going to say about where I'm looking and what I'm doing with it.
I don't know. I think that there'll be a lot of winners. Like I said, like I'm buying a little bit of Google, Amazon, some of these names. I'm not buying too many speculative names, but I think like the internet, artificial intelligence will benefit every single business. I think it's just going to improve margins across the board. And it's hard not to, like whenever you're looking at AI, to just focus on the chip name. So I'm constantly looking at NVIDIA versus AMD and these sort of players. I don't look at I've not speculated too much on the different components. I know that there's great gains to be won there, but I don't know. I like the safety of the big names like TSM or NVIDIA that kind of get to decide who are the winners and losers. They're kind of kingmakers. So yeah, playing it a little bit safer, but just knowing that across the board, my entire, like the S&P is going to benefit greater. So to me, what's going to make a big difference is the products that are created for agentic AI. What are the companies to win? I'm not sure, but I'm going to be sure that they're going to use GPUs.
So what inning do you think we're in with AI? Do you think this is everybody's trying to, and I hate that people are trying to compare this to .com, and I'm going to blow that theory right out of the water in a couple minutes. But if you had to pick a time, is it 99? Is it 2000? Is it 96?
It's not what you say, at least from my perspective.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like if you talk about the .com bubble, does that mean that we're in the last inning? Like, I mean, that's not true because like Facebook wasn't even invented yet. So like, what are we talking? Are we talking about the technology or the margins on the businesses? Because
that's for the bears to decide. They're the ones that are trying to poke holes in it. I've been fighting the bears publicly about this.
So what I would say is, if there's going to be a bubble that pops, we're probably closer to 96 or 97. You know what I think is that there's not going to be a market correction while Trump is in office. I just think, well, I mean, there could be a really volatile market, but I don't think that there's going to be a sustained, year or 2 year long bear market while Trump is in office. Deregulation, the end of quantitative tightening, rate cut. Like, I just think there's too many tailwinds right now. Margins can get a lot more stupid multiples could get a lot more stupid than where they are today.
Well, there are some multiples that are stupid. There are a lot of multiples that aren't.
Yep, I agree. But luckily, there's not a lot of quantum names in the S&P 500, so I don't have to worry.
Yeah, how about zero?
Right. Well, unless, Microsoft.
You can't count IBM and Alphabet. They're not quantum names. They just happen to have a quantum division.
Exactly. So that's how I'm playing that in case there is a technological breakthrough. Google, Microsoft, they're going to do great regardless.
So
but
here's where I'm at on this.
The technology is really early.
Yes, the technology is really early. I'm going to be more bullish than Dan Ives on this and say that we are in 1989 because I don't even think we've got to the 90s yet because we are so early on this. And, Chris and I and Amit, we were on the phone one night. It had to have been, Chris, I know you're in the chat. I'm not sure if Amit's in the chat. That had to have been like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I think. We had like a 2-hour conversation about where we are in the CapEx cycle. And I was saying that we were probably another 18 to 24 months. and then I was going to get out of some of the plays. And then maybe a year ago, I said there were probably 3 to 5 years. And now I'm starting to think we're 5 to 10 because in addition to the 3 deals that OpenAI has done, I listened to the BlackRock earnings call. And when they say that there's going to need to be $1.5 trillion of capital needed over the next 5 years for just the shells and the cores of the data centers, which excludes chips. Like they specifically said that in the earnings call, excludes chips. That made me I shouldn't say very bullish because I've been very bullish, but it made me extend how bullish I was only because I don't think that these companies are going to stop. And I think that we're going to need so much more compute over the next 5 to 10 years that we could certainly have a correction. We could certainly have a recession over the next decade. It's actually inevitable that markets retrace. Retracements are healthy. But I don't think that this is this does not resemble the dot-com thing. Now, there are pockets of the market that can get overly expensive and become stupid. That happens in every market. But unlike the dot-com era, this is not being fueled by venture debt. This is being fueled by pure profitability because the companies that are leading the way are all generating tens of billions of dollars in free cash flow. And if I have the number in my head correctly, I believe the combination of Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, and Meta in the trailing 12 have generated 291 billion in free cash flow after all the capex spent. So to me, we're nowhere near .com. I'm not worried about it just because quantum's gone crazy, just because SMRs have gone crazy. That doesn't mean anything for NVIDIA or for TSM. And TSM is actually the next one I'm really starting to look at because it is so freaking interesting. And I can't believe, out of all the ones that I'm in, I actually can't believe I'm not a shareholder.
Right. Yeah. Completely agree. Are we
Like
staying live long enough?
I should have seen that. I don't know how I didn't get it. I don't know.
No, but I also think there's still opportunity. If there's $1.5 trillion, like take Jensen's words, if we look at the total cost of a data center, the actual infrastructure, the land, the shell of the data center is about $15 billion per gigawatt. And the other 35 billion is chips. So just on that ratio, using NVIDIA chips, by the way, we're looking at like a 4.5 to like $4.7 trillion build out is what BlackRock thinks over the next 5 years. And from a lot of reports recently, many people believe that NVIDIA is going to be able to keep that exact same, if not grow, market share of the top supercomputers. So I'm pretty interested in just continuing to play the GPU game. And, I think many people, because they look at the market cap of NVIDIA rather than looking at the multiple, think that it's somehow overvalued or that it can't continue to run. But I've never invested that way. Like it was, 2022, whenever I was talking to you, suggesting that NVIDIA will be the first $10 trillion business, I still think that's going to be the case.
I'm going to give you a lot of credit. You did say that in 2022. You absolutely said that.
But it's true, like it will be the most important transformational technology. And yet people somehow will bet against the world changing. Like it's mind blowing to me. Like I think people have a really hard time visualizing change, visualizing compounding growth. In 2018, we saw the first company hit $1 trillion, Apple. And then I think it was like, I forget the timelines, but the company that hit the second or 2 trillion and 3 trillion was also Apple. And it wasn't too far along. I think it was 2018, then 2020, then 2021. It was something along those lines. And the ability to just break the most expensive market cap names means nothing to me. It matters the multiple and if they can continue to accelerate on revenue and margin. And I think that's going to continue to happen for NVIDIA. And then it's the maintenance of those chips.
So let's stick on that real quick. Thank you so much for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. And we spoke about BMNR. I'll talk about Tom Lee's prediction in a little bit. So let's stick with what you just said, because I actually had something pulled up backstage. Let me bring it up. I'm still getting a little used to these controls. Not used to being on this side of things. Usually Tannor and Amit do all this for me. So bear with me. And what he said is very important. And when I look at the future predictions in EPS and revenue, and if you read my Seeking Alpha articles, I'm not making up numbers. This is what the consensus estimates on Wall Street are. And this is for NVIDIA. And you have so many analysts. And keep in mind, they end their fiscal year in January, not December. So when it says January 2026, that's really the 2025 fiscal year. So just keep that in mind. Now, you have 50 analysts saying they're going to do 451 in EPS, 52 analysts saying that they're going to grow their EPS next year by 42.5%. I mean, that's huge. And then 26 analysts, and there are a lot of companies that are well known, 26 analysts on the street don't even cover, are saying you're going to get an additional 20% of EPS growth in 2027. And when we look at the revenue curve, this is where it gets even crazier, that they're going to put up close to 60% revenue growth this year and then grow by another 33% next year. And we're not talking about a company that's a $5 billion revenue company. We're talking about a company that is going to exceed $200 billion in revenue this year and then add another 69 billion or so next year. This is just, the party is still getting started, and we are nowhere near where this cycle ends.
Can you keep this page up for me for a sec?
Sure. Do you want EPS or this trend line? Which one do you want?
No, I want the revisions.
The revisions. I never go into the revision page.
Well, it shows you that their targets are absolute BS. I mean, this is their ability to look long-term on NVIDIA. They haven't been able to do it, and they've constantly increased their price targets. So
they always increase their price targets, and that actually means that the other side numbers are actually low.
And this is not price following. This is earnings following.
Correct.
Okay, so this is the underlying performance of the business. So if you look at revenue, look at that. Over time, all they've done is go, oh, it's actually going to be better than what we thought. Oh, it's going to be better than what we thought. Oh, it's going to be better than what we thought. You know, that is such an insane advantage for NVIDIA, and especially even going forward, because they probably are going to continue to have to revise up going forward. I don't think, as they suggest, that once 2029 comes, growth just completely falls off a cliff.
And as Jensen has said, China's revenue is not even priced in at the moment.
Right.
So keep that in mind. It's just NVIDIA has become, I can't believe what NVIDIA has become at this point. It's absolutely incredible. And that's why I've been buying on the way up. And then when it crashed during the tariff stuff, I bought more, and I bought more on the way up again. I mean, I bought as recently as definitely in the 180s I bought, because I bought it a couple weeks ago at this point. So I just think that they're going to do a lot. I think Tanner's right that they may not be the first, but I think they're going to be a $10 trillion company sooner than later. And outside of
who's going to be first?
I have a theory. You're not going to agree.
I may
have to revise the theory, because NVIDIA's got so much momentum behind it that NVIDIA is a great candidate. I think Amazon is going to do something. I got this feeling. And I think what people are overlooking with Amazon is they're looking at the margins right now. I showed this the other day. Let me bring it up real quick. But from a margin standpoint, I don't think people are looking at Amazon the way that I'm looking at it, because they're looking about how much it can grow externally. And I'm looking at how much it can grow externally, but how much it can improve internally. And when I look at these margins, so give me one sec, there is so much room for improvement. And I think that this improves with AI. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for everybody. So we've only been above an 11% operating margin for the past 3 quarters. Why are you smirking? You don't like my charts? I mean,
No, because you adjusted it, but the chart didn't move at all. The background was moving a ton, but the chart stayed absolutely still.
I would have brought it up in Google Sheets. I don't know which spreadsheets it's in. I just know it's in the last Amazon article that I published. That's why I went back to Seeking Alpha for it. But they've only been over an 11% operating income margin for the past 3 quarters. They've actually never, since the pandemic, been above 11%. They just got the double digits in Q1 2024. So when I look at where, and I got to tell you, whenever I hit that X on the bottom of StreamYard, I am second guessing myself. Like, is this like going to end the stream? But it's not the big red button. But with Amazon, I think that there's going to be so much internal growth and margin because of deploying AI and robotics. I think that they are such a great candidate for operational efficiency internally that's going to drive productivity. This is a company that may be able to get to 20 to 22% margins by the end of the decade. And in 2029, they're expected to do $1 trillion of revenue. They'll be the first company to do $1 trillion in revenue. And if they can get their margins to 20%, that's $200 billion in operating income. And this is a company whose what's their market cap right now? $2 billion?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Their market cap is 2.3 trillion. I said billion, I meant trillion.
Yeah, I knew you meant trillion.
Yeah, $2.3 trillion market cap. So they're half the size of NVIDIA at this point. And they may be able to generate down the road more profitability. Amazon's a very interesting company right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the businesses with, some of the highest amount of employee count, processing some of the most payments in the entire world. Like, what does blockchain and artificial intelligence and robotics and full self-driving do for their delivery network, for their, deep fleet in the actual new warehouses? I mean, Amazon could potentially create completely lights off factories one day, just operated by their own robotics network, which they have more robotics deployed than any other business. I mean, they're the actual company with 1 million robots in use today. Like, every factor of their business, I'm just in love with. The Internet of Things, their whole home security stuff that they're getting into. Amazon's a huge data play. They did extremely well, doing well for search. I just think that translates well to what they do in AI. I'm a huge believer now.
And what happens when their advertising platform continues to grow? And what happens when, I know a lot of people think that Serve Robotics is a joke, but what happens when you have little deployed robots / droids delivering packages throughout cities? And you have to remember, it may not be applicable for a small town, but in major metropolitan cities, I mean, it is definitely applicable. I can completely see walking to the office and seeing a little robot on wheels going to deliver something.
Yeah, completely. I'm sure they'll create their own bots for that specific purpose as well.
I think that they're going to. I think that this is going to be not just an internal efficiency. I think that they're going to be able to sell to competitors and also create consumer application robots also for sale.
And I also think and I'm not suggesting this at all, but let me just bring something up for you really quick. Whenever you talk about a name like Meta, which is a lot of great code and a lot of great engineers, at the end of the day, there could be a team of engineers extremely small in their garage that goes after them via a better solution to a problem that, potentially Zuckerberg didn't even think about, because it's a software name. And that's always the risk about software, is that someone just comes right over top of you and dominates your business without you even seeing them coming. I'm not suggesting that for Meta at all. But it's impossible to do that to Amazon because of the actual physical warehouses that are all over many countries that you would need companies with hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars to come together to even try to replicate what they've done over decades.
I
Like,
don't like saying this.
they have a hard asset advantage.
You can't replicate it. I don't like saying that, but they are just like an Energy Transfer or an Enbridge in that respect, because they have had a decade of spending 50 billion plus in CapEx. They have the best logistical network behind the Department of Defense. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like Walmart can't compete with them. Costco certainly can't compete with them for delivery. And look, when I walk around the city, I see more Amazon trucks than any other type of delivery truck, and it's been like that for several years.
That's another advantage, by the way. I don't know if like you care too much about that story, but like Amazon is not trying to make friends with it. Like
No.
UPS, FedEx, PayPal, they don't care who you are. If they can solve that problem without you, they're going to cut you out of the stream. Like, they own the customer. They own the centralized marketplace. And then even outside of that, they don't even need to be a part of the centralized marketplace, which is Amazon.com, by the way. They can go and do stuff like buy with Prime and partner with Shopify and PayPal and all of these businesses and just say, hey, we'll do the logistics. You know, you own the customer, you sell the product. You don't even need to come to Amazon.com. We'll handle the logistics for you. That cannot be replicated.
No, it can't.
That's like the Jensen thing of like, you don't need to buy everything from us, but just come and buy something from us. Like, big fan of Amazon right now.
Yeah, same here. I mean, look, I've been an Amazon shareholder for quite some time now. It's one of the best run companies, in my opinion. I just think that they have so much potential, and I don't get worried about where the market cap is because I see a tremendous amount of potential going forward for them with a lot more margin expansion. And when they eventually get to the point where they don't have to spend 100 billion plus on CapEx, they're going to be able to probably increase free cash flow overnight by 20, 30 billion. Whenever that build out becomes maintenance mode and not being gas full metal to the pedal, you know, pedal to the metal. You know what I
mean. There you go. I was going to let you sit on that for a second. Yeah, man. But then I'm seeing some comments as well. This is another weird thing about investing. And I'm not suggesting that I'm going to even be right on Amazon, but it's always funny. Like I follow these people that do well over time, and then they'll show, okay, well, here's my next idea. And then a bunch of people will go, I don't know about that one. Like you've batted pretty well, but this one, not feeling it. It's like, I don't know how to explain the companies that I like investing in, but some of it's a hunch, let's say, whatever. And I'm not saying Amazon will be my biggest winner, but if I just have to trust my gut at this point that I know what the next I don't know what the next companies are going to be, but I feel like I know what the next technologies are going to be. And if you do that and you put your capital towards that almost like theme of investing, you keep your capital close to where you think the change is going to be, and look at the companies that are actually changing with it. Like, whenever Bitcoin and everything started to get regulated, and then Vanguard said, hey, actually, we're not going to involve ourselves with any of these crypto products, and we're not going to allow ETFs and everything like this, that's a hard no for me. Like, you need the companies that are willing and able to change with the technologies. Stick with the companies that continue to do that. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point, but
I love it. Keep going.
I think at the beginning of this stream, you want like this framework of investing from me. And I don't have one that is as concrete as people would believe, but I like the technologies. I focus on real businesses, make sure that governments doesn't get in the way. And then once you know the industry that you want to be in, focus on the ones that have rapidly expanding revenue and multiples, be willing to pay a premium for them, because for me, it hasn't been chasing the discounted companies. It's been paying for the winners. Like almost every name that we covered that I've done well on, Shopify, Tesla, Nvidia, Robinhood, have been historically expensive, you know, but because they've just continued to dominate. And that's something that I have learned recently is like pay for the premium. If I had to pay for CrowdStrike versus SentinelOne, I'm a CrowdStrike investor all day long out of those two names because they've just proven that they are going to win above and beyond. And I'm a big invest in like pay the premium for the better product. The same way that you'd buy a nice car or something like this, just pay for the premium.
I think there's a lot of companies that make sense right now. And it's interesting because I wanted people to have a chance to see how you go through a selection process and what you think about, because you've done really well.
Yeah, look for red flags. I'm making it also like I still do my due diligence. I still listen to the 10 Qs the earnings calls. I go through the 10 Qs. I look at things like stock-based compensation and buybacks and all of these different things. Like you still need to get those little flags done, but all that's sort of noise in comparison to what the company is actually solving as a problem. Total addressable markets, I think, is the most important factor that people can invest in. If it's solving a small problem, they'll never go anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like if you're looking for a company that 10Xs, they need to solve a huge problem. And that's why I love Elon so much. And I'm not investing in any of his companies right now, but he solves the biggest problems. And if there's a problem that's too small, he might even know that it's a real problem, but he won't even consider it.
Are there any private companies you're interested in looking at if they come public?
Notion and OpenAI.
I think OpenAI is on everybody's list. Are you in any of these hypergrowth data center plays such as CoreWeave or Nebius?
No.
Have you done the DD on it at all?
I've looked at CoreWeave and a little bit on Nebius, CoreWeave being the main one, but still no.
I started doing the research on CoreWeave. I need to talk to Sam and really get a deep dive, because I think out of everybody, he's probably done the most research on those companies. And when I started doing the research on CoreWeave, I said, I actually feel like I may want to start a position, because if I think that the future of AI is going to do what it's going to do, and if I think that the data center build that's going to do what I think it's going to do, and the amount of capital that's going to get allocated to it, and I start looking at the analyst projections on their revenue, this thing's going to be a free train that keeps beating top line estimates as long as they can get the hardware needed and they don't have constraint. So I need to do a lot more work on it, but it's looking more and more interesting to me.
Someone in the chat said Steve, Tannor, and Amit have secular financing. I thought that was very funny. Sorry to take away from your part, but it is true. We definitely share an audience.
Yeah, oh, definitely, without a question. And there's a lot of people that like Nebius a lot more than CoreWeave. I haven't done enough research on the two. I think it's the next rabbit hole I go down, because while I do believe we're going to get a broad market rotation, and I think that there's going to be a lot of value plays that do well, and I think fixed income is going to do well, and that's something nobody really cares about, so I don't really talk about it. But, Chris cares about fixed income, and him and I have had conversations about that, and we'll probably talk about when he comes on. But I do think that there's going to be other winners on the AI trade, and while CoreWeave and Nebius have done very well, I think there could be a very long trail to their forward growth. It's very interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Hard determining which ones are the large winners on a stock basis perspective, not just on revenue, I think will be the more challenging part.
Have
Especially
you seen what they're projecting for CoreWeave's revenue?
I did look at it before. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but yeah, it's pretty extreme, especially their capex expectations for the rest of the year is also pretty extreme as well.
I mean, the fact that I think they did 2.2 billion in 24. So the fact that they're going to do triple digit this year and triple digit next year, and then another 50% supposedly the year after that. I mean, if they get their margins up, this may be a company that's actually, while it looks expensive now, this could be another one of those companies that just grows into a valuation while it keeps appreciating in value. So I have to do a lot more research on this, but we know that OpenAI just threw the gauntlet down, and they are not just going to third parties such as Nebius or CoreWeave, they're going direct to NVIDIA and buying the chips. That means that there is just not enough capacity out there for these companies. So they have to get it wherever they can find it. And that just makes me bullish on all of the sectors for this. I think you're going to have big cooling wins. I think Micron's going to do very well because you're going to need more DRAM. I think networking is going to do very well. There's just, I'm going to put together a whole roadmap, I think, of what I see the value chain as, because I think there's going to be a lot of winners in this still. And I think this is a multi-year cycle that just continues to go.
But at some point, doesn't NVIDIA just look like an index fund of all those winners?
Well, isn't it interesting because they're becoming a mini Berkshire Hathaway with all the investments they're making in these companies. And that's another reason why NVIDIA is so interesting right now.
I don't just mean they're
I know what you mean.
Yeah, just as a main supplier as well.
Yeah. But they're also taking stakes in a lot of companies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
CoreWeave and Nebius and all of these. So
I want to get your take on something. Does Costco deserve a bigger valuation than NVIDIA?
Or Walmart? No. I was talking about this today. No, I don't think so at all.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
It still irks the hell out of me.
No, I think like look at NVIDIA's forward PE because the stock hasn't really moved, and yet Wall Street's predictions or projections of their earnings continue to move. So their forward PE just continues to lower and lower and lower, and soon we're going to be under 30 here. And you have Walmart at 35 times, Costco at 48 times, something like this. I just, yeah, it's crazy. I would think that NVIDIA's stock will double before Costco's does.
Oh, I agree with you. And it makes me push back on all the bears that want to say we're in a bubble or we're getting frothy. Well, how are we getting frothy if big tech that's leading the way isn't even getting the multiple that a Walmart or Costco is? That's not a frothy market.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of different sectors that are getting a lot of different premiums. It's hard to, yeah. It is the weirdest market I've been in a while. Like there's such premiums and speculation on certain names that I would almost call like meme valuations at this point.
Oh, I agree with you.
And then on the next breath, we have the strongest businesses in the world that have balance sheets that look like countries' balance sheets that are fully diversified across 100 countries. Like just unbelievable operating leverage and margin to push out competitors and continue to benefit from the largest technology changes that we've ever seen. Like software and AI is eating the world. And yet people are not giving, the Metas, Googles, Amazons, NVIDIA's, the multiple the way Walmart and Costco is getting a multiple.
It's the hot dog.
It's crazy to me. Whenever you have tiny, tiny margins, your ability to be flexible is reflective of your margin. They're not going to go into negatives to push out a competitor. I mean, they can, but that's like a poison pill.
And that's one of my big things with Costco. It's a phenomenal company. It is a great company. People love that company. But you have a 2.97% profit margin. And in a period of inflation, or if you get another supply chain mix up, their margins are so thin already. It's just, I don't know. It's very difficult. And if you do go into a recession, I'm canceling Costco before I cancel Prime if I had to pick between the two. There's just so much value add with Prime over the Costco membership. And here's something people aren't necessarily thinking about. what if Amazon gets into the bulk items the way Costco does? They already have the distribution network. They can already get it to most places in the country within 24 to 48 hours, sometimes within 12 hours. So if they expand their warehouses out a little bit and go big box items also, so you can buy in bulk off of there, I'm not convinced that Costco is not going to take a hit on that, because why actually drive to Costco, find parking, go shop? I mean, depending on where you live, that could be 2 to 3 hours. When if you can get the same stuff you're getting at Costco on Amazon and have it just show up on your doorstep, uh, to me, Costco is not impervious to this by any means.
By the way, I love Costco.
So do I. I'm
but
not allowed to go there because I'll just walk up and down every aisle and fill up 2 carts.
this is another thing. Like people go, oh, once Costco gets into AI, then they'll benefit the way that all these other businesses are. I don't know if any of you guys have used Costco online. It absolutely sucks. They have not been able to get into e-commerce. Like I'm a credit card holder of Costco. Love the company, but it's not like they're just a perfect business. They have failed at many different things. The benefit of Costco is that they have perfect, like time execution. Like I know whenever I retire, Costco is still going to be around.
Right. But also think about this. With Amazon, you're not spending the money on gas or commuting. There's a lot of other things that go into it that may actually make additional value add for Amazon if they get into the same space. And with Amazon's buying power, they generate much more revenue than Costco. They'll be able to get same prices.
I'm telling you, if there's a day that comes where Amazon can start doing completely lights off warehouses, like the robots can see, there's no humans involved, so the lights don't even need to be on. The margin expansion for Amazon is there. The cameras on the robots can see in the dark. That's perfectly fine. Costco has very little flexibility on how much they can change to improve their margins without taking away from the quality of the, bulk shopping experience.
Yeah, and
giving
I'm not
people additional space in the parking lot is part of the selling feature.
I'm not by any means saying Costco's going away or there's anything wrong with the company. It's a phenomenal company. People are always going to use it. My observation right now is that Costco is still trading at a much larger multiple than companies that are growing significantly quicker and that are significantly larger. The last time that I checked, NVIDIA did Costco's entire year of profitability in 20 and a half days. Less than 1 month, they did all of Costco's net income. So you're at a point where they're on track to do over 30 billion in net income this quarter alone based on their margins. This is a company with 56% margins last quarter. Even if they scale down to 50% or 52%, they're still going to get over 30 billion net income. And it's amazing that you have these companies like Costco that does not have the verticals to really expand that are getting a bigger multiple because people look at them as recession proof. It does not make sense to me whatsoever. When I see that, I don't think the market's frothy because we've always had companies that trade at big valuations. And look, SMR, Oklo are trading at big valuations. Maybe they grow into them. But if something happens and money comes out of them, that's not impacting the S&P. They're not S&P 500 components. That has nothing to do with the market. So until tech is trading the same place some of these old school companies are, it's amazing that it's flipped as much as it has.
Yeah, I mean, why would Amazon deserve a premium for owning the largest cloud service or cloud providing technology service in the world? Wow,
right? Why would Alphabet deserve
come
a
on.
premium for generating 115 billion in free cash flow?
No, it's funny, right? Like the components that are higher margin and faster growing and will continue to grow in the world is like kind of impacting Amazon's premium compared to Walmart and Costco.
No, I'll continue to pronounce it wrong because I just don't care.
Anyway.
But no, it's really amazing. And I think that the multiples really, this quarter is a do or die quarter for a lot of companies. And when I say that, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft have to come over the top. What did you think of OpenAI, what they announced, and what do you think we're going to hear on the earnings calls? Because you and Amit listen to more earnings, and I'll throw Chris in there too. The three of you listen to more earnings calls than probably anybody I know besides myself. I'm just a little delayed on listening to everything. What do you think that they're going to say? One, two, do you think they're increasing their CapEx spend based on what we heard from Microsoft going to 100 billion this year and what OpenAI has done in the past 3 weeks?
I think I missed what name you said.
Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta.
Oh yeah, no, I think they're going to continue to expand capital expenditures, and they're going to come out and say, hey, you know what, it's actually growing faster than we thought because, you know, we've continued to find new products in artificial intelligence that are going to advance our company. So we're going to continue to try to lead that space. Like what OpenAI is doing and all the investments is being seen across the big leaders in tech. It has to be. They're the companies that are also seeing and doing those deals with OpenAI. You know, they have to believe to some degree that there's going to be a follow through in those deals and that they're not, these contracts are not going to fall apart. And by doing so, they want to know from OpenAI that the products that they're building can even be feasible or that they're real or that they're going to have, you know, large economic changes. And they are believing in Sam Altman. So CapEx is going to increase. It's not just OpenAI. There's many, many players. This is, you know, one of the biggest land grabs I think the world has ever seen. And what's funny about the big hyperscale names is that they're not even advancing their spend too much out into the future. They're only doing it based on the demand that they're actually seeing. You know, they're just buying the future chips that they need for the supply that they're seeing in the contracts today. So it's that part is pretty crazy as well, is that I actually don't even think that like Meta, OpenAI, there's some risk there because that's, you know, their own personal product. But Azure and GCP and AWS, they're just fulfilling client orders. Like, yeah, that's pretty phenomenal.
One of the things I'm looking for is what Jassy talks about with AWS, because last quarter Amazon sold off because the operating income from AWS declined a little bit and it didn't meet the mark of where people wanted it. And I had said this the other night. I don't remember where I said it, but one of the things Amazon does not have that Alphabet and Microsoft has is a full suite for compute. So Microsoft, you have Office, SharePoint, and OneDrive, which every business either uses the Microsoft suite or the Alphabet suite with Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Drive, Gmail, et cetera, et cetera. Amazon doesn't have that. And I'm starting to think that we may see a little bit more growth from Azure and Google Cloud, only because they already have the relationships with the companies from those products, and it may be easier for them to cross-sell into their cloud, and they may be able to offer discounts on those products to entice people to come in to their cloud environment. And I wish Amazon had some type of foundational layer on top of it for companies to utilize outside of just the cloud offerings.
Yeah, I'm not super well equipped to talk about this really, but it's not like the products of cloud are created equally, you know. So while the bundling is important, how did that allow, you know, OpenAI to outperform a company like Gemini or Microsoft? You know, doing.
Which one do you think is the best out of those? Like, if you're talking about Grok, Gemini, and OpenAI, which one do you use?
No, I get what you're saying.
No, I'm actually not alluding to anything. I'm just asking a question with that one.
Okay, well, Grok lately has been the worst thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. It's gotten nothing but worse. It sucks. It's awful. I have nothing but bad things to say about Grok right now.
Wow.
ChatGPT is constantly perfect. And Gemini has been a surprise on how good it's been. And I'm using Gemini more because I'm, do YouTube full time. So a lot of what I'm doing on YouTube works very well with Gemini. Gemini and YouTube work well together. Grok is a steaming pile of. Am I allowed to swear on your channel?
Let's not, but.
And I won't. But I think people understood what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'm
impressed with Gemini. It's gotten a lot better, and I needed more storage space, so I paid for the whatever the package was, and I get the advanced package for Gemini, and I got to tell you, it's really good.
I'm paying for Grok, by the way.
Same here. We both are.
Yeah, I'm paying for their frickin' Grok Pro. Like, I'm paying the highest price for it, and it's just absolutely being the worst. If I ask it who I am, it doesn't even know. That's why a bunch of comments have said, "Hey, Lori, nice to see you, Lori." It's because I asked it live. I said, "Who am I?" And it said, "You are Lori, blah, blah, blah. You're a pro bono attorney." It just like took a random X account, someone that I've never been associated with, never, ever have seen. It's so bad. I don't know how they're going backwards.
Which is crazy because it's tied to your X account.
Right. I'm logged into X and it doesn't know who I am.
Crazy.
And then I have the services checked off saying, can I use your X account? Can I use, previous conversations? It doesn't know a thing about me. What's the point of using AI if it has no personal context? That's what makes, Gemini and OpenAI so good.
Gemini is really good. I don't use OpenAI because there's no need for me to have a third, but I'm not surprised to hear you say that. And going back to Alphabet, I cannot believe how much growth there is in Google Cloud.
Okay, but hold on. I wanted to talk about the cloud thing because we were talking about the I think while there's differentiation in the products like artificial intelligence and software and the difference between Codex or OpenAI's Codex or Claude Code or Cursor or all these different products, there is definitely different use cases and different reasons to use GCP, AWS, and Azure. It's not just about the bundling, or else,
agreed.
Only certain businesses would have won and taken 100% of the profits with them. So I don't think that's enough just to suggest that Microsoft Azure has won is because they have, Office and other features. But I think those same sort of benefits also benefit GCP, but yet somehow the largest cloud provider is still AWS. And the tools to create on AWS is, it's insane. It's just they're not very AI focused. That's the only problem. But they're getting there.
I get it. I'm super impressed with Alphabet. I was saying that 290 was my target, and I'm glad that it's starting to come to life. I think when it was at 170 and 180, it was absolutely insane. The fact that it even got under there was insane. And when I see what Google Cloud is doing, it makes me really wonder what's going to happen this quarter and what happens in Q4. And just the metrics from this company are absolutely amazing. I still think it's one of the most undervalued companies there is.
I agree with you. That's why I'm buying it. I'm buying Google and Amazon right now out of the Mag 7s.
You're still getting both of them?
A lot less of Google than Amazon, but mainly because of the moves that they've made. Price action is just making me select Amazon a little bit more because I'm getting these dips and I just think it's over nothing. Well, honestly, I find if there is going to be a tariff war and a trade war, it actually does affect Amazon more than it affects Google. But still, Amazon's going to be so perfectly fine.
Yes, they are. Wow.
How long are you wanting to stream for right now? Because I didn't realize whenever I started this stream that you're the guy that wants to do the 24-hour streams, and now you're in charge of the button. And I'm getting a little worried that I'm going to miss me going and picking up my girlfriend.
You can leave whenever you want.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you wrap it whenever.
No.
Okay, never mind.
You can go whenever you want. But I know you have to leave. Whenever you want to leave, I'm just going to go until I'm ready to stop.
Anything else you want to cover?
If you need to leave, just go. I know you have other obligations.
I'm going to head out. Thank you guys.
Okay. Drive safely. I appreciate you coming on. I always love talking with you about this. And I think it's cool that they get to hear kind of what our conversations are offline about this. When we pick each other's brains. We should do more of this on your channel and mine.
My channel on YouTube, Future Investing.
Yes. Make sure you're following Tannor if you're not. Right? Everybody here is probably following you because you and Amit and Chris and Matt gave me a huge boost, and I am forever grateful. But yeah, if you're not following Tannor on X and YouTube, please go follow him.
Yeah, but we'll do more of these. We talk a lot offline about what we're investing in and everything, and I don't think people realize that it's not just content and everything. It's just, honestly what we're going to do with our portfolios makes way bigger of a difference than what we're doing here. So, yeah. Thanks, brother. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and I'll talk to you during the week.
Bye.
All right. Well, I really appreciate having him on. I'm going to stay on for a while, everybody. Thank you for the new members. Thank you for the super chats. This one, hilarious for me to put ad in an NY newspaper. Came late to the chat, have lots of ETH. What's your thoughts on Tom Lee's? Look, I think that ETH is going to go up quite a bit. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm currently buying. And let's see. To me, it's not a 2025 story. It's a 2026, 2027, 2028 story. And I think we're going to do pretty well on it. Thank you for the new member. Let's see. I think you'd be surprised with Meta. I think they're going to monetize it a lot in their offerings with Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I think they're going to do a lot for businesses. Thank you for the new member. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for this. I will keep it up. Thank you. So one of the things, and look, Tannor had to go get his girlfriend. She was flying back tonight. We had talked about that before. So I want to bring this up. I was going to bring it up with him. Let me share the screen. So when I made the Costco comment about the valuation, to me, it is, and I'm going to blow it up. So hold on. I think everybody can see this pretty well. So it is still so overvalued, in my opinion. When you have Costco trading at 38.5 times 2027 earnings, and they're only expected to grow their EPS by 23.5%, and you have companies like Amazon that are trading at less than 24 times 2027 earnings, and they're expected to grow their EPS by almost 40%. That's incredible. And we still have companies like Alphabet that are trading at less than 21 times 2027 earnings. It's just, I don't see that there's froth in the overall market. What I see is that there are pockets of the market that are very frothy that are not going to impact the largest companies in the market. And that's why I can have an iron stomach and sleep well at night, because there are companies I would still want to buy here. Alphabet, I still want to buy. Amazon, I still want to buy. I still want to find a good entry point for Microsoft. I'm actually kicking myself that that's the one that I don't own out of the Mag 7. And NVIDIA, I'm still actively buying. I mean, when you look at this, for a company of this size to trade at 28 times 2027 earnings with more than 66% EPS growth over the next 2 years, it is absolutely incredible that they are trading at this low of a valuation. It makes no sense to me. And even though they're a $4.5 trillion company now, or wherever they are, $4.5 trillion, over the next 3 to 5 years, I can see them making a run on $10 trillion. And that's why I really like it. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. So, some of the things that I'm going to be looking at, I still think that there is an opportunity in CoreWeave. I have not flushed out my investment thesis yet, so I'm reluctant to pull the trigger. I need to do more research, and I am planning on this weekend sitting down and really doing the work on that TerraWolf and Nebius. I'm going to try to find the time to do that because I almost feel like a lot of people took the same route that Amit did, that I did, that Chris did when it came to Palantir, where it was not a profitable company, and we saw a pathway to profitability, and we saw that the commercial growth was growing when nobody else did. And I really do think that there is something here with all the announcements. And yes, I got to look at IREN also. So there's some really good ones out there. We'll see. I mean, a lot of people are picking Nebius over CoreWeave. I know that these are very popular positions. I need to really look at who their big customers are, what the revenue projections are, what the margin projections are. And quite honestly, I need to read the 10Ks. I don't know enough about these companies where I can just make a decision. I need to read the 10Ks, not the whole thing, but the important parts. So, and I need to go through the decks and really listen to a couple of earnings calls and listen to what their CEOs have said in other interviews before I can really talk more intelligently on it. Talk to us about Mo. Look, Mo's a phenomenal company. I mean, a lot of people hate the industry it's in. I get it, but it is a phenomenal company. Great margins, huge free cash flow, great dividend. I think it's going to keep going up. And yeah, wait, hold on. When is TSM earnings? Is that tonight? I remember somebody saying yesterday that it was maybe in the middle of the night or something, but TSM is another one. For all these companies, you look at I keep going back to OpenAI because they just contracted 26 gigawatts of chips from NVIDIA, AMD, and Broadcom. And when you do 26 gigawatts of chips, you have to think TSM is going to do incredibly well over the next couple of years. The NVIDIA 1AM, thank you, Tanner. So I'm definitely not staying up for that, but I will address it tomorrow. The earnings for TSM should expand dramatically because these chips from AMD and NVIDIA for OpenAI are not shipping till the second half of 2026. So that's going to mean that there is a huge runway of increased demand for TSM's foundries. And I just think that sky is the limit for them. They really don't have competition. Now, Intel is going to start getting a little bit more, but we'll see what happens. I am going to do the research. It is on my list of things. I have it on there. I haven't done enough, so I can't talk about KOPN yet, but I will. Let's see. Yeah, I agree. TSM is a clear takeoff. And I don't see China as a headwind at this point. I don't think that they are going to invade. It's just, I don't think it's in the cards. I really don't. So we'll see. Not this stream, but I will nerd out. Maybe it's something I'll ask Chris to come on and talk to me about because Chris is one of the only other people that actually gets excited about fixed income stuff. So, and for that, we need to really explain how bonds work and how bonds work when rates go up and down and why they trade at a discount. But I'm going to do something on that. I actually wrote an article on PTY from PIMCO the other day and went over it a bit in there. So I'm going to do a full video on it. I agree. Q3 earnings is going to be really explosive for a lot of companies. I completely agree with that. And I think we're going to see earnings expand and revenue be on top line for the big companies. And I think that they're just going to get bigger. I don't think that you have companies that can compete with them. like Tanner said, they have the balance sheets of small countries. And where a lot of people are going to disagree, and that's fine. We all have our own opinions. And I could be 100% wrong on this. But I don't understand how the quantum companies are going to be able to create these breakthroughs that Amazon is not going to be able to do. I don't understand it. I really don't. And I think that they are some of the companies that are inflated right now. And if we're going to get real breakthroughs in that, I think it's going to be Alphabet and IBM. So it's just very hard. I stay away from those because I don't see the use case for it right now. And I have no idea who's going to win in that race. So I'm staying away from it. Yeah. A lot of people are saying that. I want to get Sam on. I want to talk to Sam about it. He's done more research than anybody I know. So I am gonna learn as much as I can about those. No, Misty and NVDY, which I hold both of them, are not anywhere near a bond or preferred stock. They actually create synthetic positions on NVIDIA and strategy and sell options. We can do a whole video on that. It'll take a little bit to explain. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole right now. I will tell you that I am underwater on one, I am up on the other, and my idea around them was not to care about the share price and to hold it until I'm able to suck the liquidity out of it from the monthly distributions and then have a free asset that is just generating income. And I'm on the way to doing that. Let's see how long it takes. Thank you so much for the super chat. Nick's Hobbies channel. We need, what hobbies or do you talk about? Let's talk privately about this. This is you know that I did Alternative Asset Weekly, I'm pretty sure, on Sunday night. I'm going to be getting other people on, so that's something we should talk about. Please make it clear when you're doing a YouTube on the data centers. That way we can listen in. I will put an X post out, and I will definitely put a schedule thing clearly stating it for the data centers without a question. I don't know if I agree with this, maybe, but remember that these companies are spending CapEx that is from pure profitability. So let's just use Alphabet, for instance, and this is why I do not get crazy about the amount that they're spending. So let's, and the controls on the back end, I'm getting a little quicker on them, but I may have to get another screen, even though I'm using a 49-inch just to make it a little easier. But when you look at Alphabet, they did 133 billion in cash from operations, and they've allocated 67 billion to CapEx. This is not being funded by debt. So when you look at their cash from operations, it keeps growing and growing, and it's likely to keep growing and growing going further out. So I'm not worried about it by any means. I'm really not. These are not companies that are tapping the debt markets or needing to go to venture and giving up part of the company. And I think that this keeps going for a very long time. I really do. Man, I'm a Cisco guy, but Arista's been doing very good, very good. No, and I should have, because I was on the IBM train when nobody else wanted to be. I think that I wrote my first article on IBM when they were at like 110 or 120. So that's one of the ones I was pounding the table on, but I didn't take my own advice. So we'll see. No, because I don't trade options, but I would to about cover calls and cash secure puts, but not on actually trading options. No, I'm not going to, but I do appreciate all the support. I really appreciate it. You're very welcome. and we'll do a dedicated episode on NVDY and Misty. I actually added Misty because I thought it would do better than NVDY, so we'll see. Very cool. A couple of my buddies growing up are really into those. I don't know. I don't really use Reddit. I don't have an opinion on it. I am sorry. Alpha female, you're correct. I am a stock hoarder. My on Seeking Alpha actually comes out tomorrow. I do a dividend harvesting series where I started it with $100 and add $100 a week into income producing assets, and there's 106 positions in it, I think now, for everything from closed-end funds to ETFs, business development corporations, REITs, and individual equities. It's basically a mutual fund I've made based off of what I wanted to see, and it has like a 8.2% dividend yield right now, and I think it's generating about $2,650 or so in forward income. So it's actually doing pretty well. I think it's up like 28 or 29% on invested capital. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as saying it's a scam, but I'm not into it. I don't like it. Thank you so much. Look, Alex is phenomenal. If you're not following him and you're into alternative assets, he's freaking great. So it was a treat. I talk to Alex once or twice a week, and I got to think about what I'm going to do for Alternative Asset Weekly this week. But yeah, I'm going to keep that up. I mean, talk about Palantir. I mean, I think a lot of people know my feelings on it. It's one of the most amazing companies I've ever seen. I'll always be a shareholder because I truly believe in the mission. I love the fact that they truly want the U.S. and its allies to be as strong as possible. I love that they support the military. I think that they have proven that they are not a black box, and people need to. That was one of my big pet peeves, that people kept referring to it as a black box without looking at the commercial side. And all you have to do is watch any AIP con and listen to what their customers say. Their net dollar retention, I think, was 122 or 126% this quarter. I personally think they're going to hit 50% growth year over year in Q3 when I back my way into the numbers. So it could look, I think it's expensive. Is it warranted? I don't know. Can it grow into it? It looks like it can grow into it. So we'll see. Let's see. I know a lot of people want a CoreWeave video. If I don't feel that I add value talking about, I'm not going to. So I need to do the DD first. I can't just, I'm not going to make a video just to make a video. I need to really believe that it's going to do well, and I haven't done enough work on it yet. It's hard for me to make a schedule because I don't know what my own schedule is, because I have a very intensive job. So, and I'm still trying to keep up with the Seeking Alpha articles, but I will say Saturday nights, without fail, 9:30 till 1 or 2 in the morning, probably, I will be live. I'm going to try to line people up every week for it. And whether it's me by myself or with other people, Saturday nights is for everybody who's staying home. I will be doing it. Probably Amanda and I are going to do something probably Thursdays. Fridays, I'm still going to do the FinTech Frenzy or whatever we're calling it these days. And Sundays, I'm probably going to do every Sunday Alternative Asset Weekly. So I don't know what I'm going to do outside of that. I may do 8 to 10 or 9 to 11 at night. The other days during the week, we'll see. I already had a glass of milk at the beginning of the stream, and I haven't gotten up to go get another one. I've never watched Pokemon. It's a good investment based on the information, so I've been investing in it. It's not a TV. If you go to Amazon, I'm using a Samsung 49-inch curved Odyssey G9. It's not a TV. It is I don't know how I would do any work without it. Okay, we'll keep it up. Yeah, SoundHound's going freaking crazy. I don't know. I'll look at it, but I didn't like it the first time I looked at it. We'll see. Oh man, it's look, the Pokemon industry changed. You were able to get so much you could get whatever you wanted last year below MSRP. It's scarce now. You can't get what you want. Look at Topps basketball. Ruben put out basketball the other day at noon, and everything was sold out in a minute. The jumbo boxes were $225. If you go to eBay, they're selling from $339 to $380 right now. Instant money glitch. Now, I personally think that the 2025 basketball cards are going to be very good to hold a sealed product because it's the first time Topps has had the license in 15 or 16 years, I believe. They have Cooper Flag autos, LeBron autos on a Laker jersey. You have Victor Wembanyama autos on a Spurs jersey. Larry Bird and Iverson signed, some other legends. So I think it's going to be really good. And I think that this is something that is going to retain and appreciate in value over years as all the rip and shippers and whatnot streamers continue to rip product. Yeah, and that's a great company. Yeah, you know that I'm very bullish Alphabet. I really like it. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, 210 would be pretty crazy considering it's already over a 400 billion market cap, but nothing would shock me with Palantir anymore. Nothing. I can't believe it's where it is. I can't believe it. Very funny. Very funny. How'd you know that's the name of my LLC? Rambler, I used to. I haven't really done it on anything recently, but I would start doing the put side when some cover calls, if they get called away. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm a fan of it if you have the time to keep up with it. Yes, I do. he has created a monster. Yes. I mean, look, I have 100% of my retirement in an S&P 500 index fund. So the 500 best companies at all times, the 500 biggest companies at all times in the U.S. is good enough for me. Good enough for Buffett. I mean, I think it's diversified enough. If you want more diversification, you can go a total market fund. I think VTI has 3,000 or 4,000 positions. So you want more diversification on 500, total market is the next best thing, I think. I don't have an opinion. It's probably a good value. I'm not in it. I don't want to follow it. It's too hard to predict what legislation is going to be and what's going to happen in the future with this. So it's something I just stay away from. There's not a lot I like, to be blatantly honest with you. I'm going to have to make a lot of different income videos, and the dividend aristocrats just aren't interesting to me. Like, I'm not buying Johnson & Johnson. I'm not buying Clorox. There's just the only ones that I actually think I own are Altria Group, which is Mo. I'd have to look at the list. I mean, I don't know. 3M's not a aristocrat anymore. I don't think I own any. Oh, no. Realty Income I own, which I happen to love. But there's not many I like. Oh, thank you so much. I tried to. Whole milk, obviously, for the milk gang, and water. I don't buy bonds individually. I like the PIMCO ETFs. I personally like PDI and PTY. Those are my two ones I prefer. It makes it easier. big distributions. Seriously, go type in Nostalgianomics on YouTube. Go watch Alex's videos. He's freaking great. He has a lot of short videos, 8 to 15 minutes long. Wealth of information, really good. Salt and pepper. That's it. Salt and pepper. And ribeye is not my favorite cut. Went over this last night. Porterhouse, then filet. Strip doesn't make it because I would never get a strip. I would never order a strip on its own unless it's the only thing on the menu for some odd reason. But porterhouse is my favorite because I get both the strip and the filet. But I like a filet better than a strip. But sometimes you want the strip. Just saying. Yes, we went over this on Alternative Asset Weekly episode 1, and it's amazing. So you had the Jordan Kobe sell for 12.9. You had this sell for 10. You had the Luka Doncic sell for 4.6 the other day. I think they're going to come out with a tokenized ETF for sports cards, only high-end cards. I think you'll end up seeing it morph into a full alternative asset ETF with barrels of whiskey, collectible cars, high-end watches, Pateks and stuff. So it's going to be really interesting. I wish that I could create one because I think that there's a huge demand for something like that. No, it's not that. It's just there's other things that I like for income other than the aristocrats. This definitely has the potential to happen. We'll see. Yeah, look, I'm a shareholder of Mo. I think that adults have the ability to make their own choices. I don't partake, but doesn't bother me. Look, it's a cash cow, and it pays a huge dividend. Have a good night. That's a funny comment. Yes, the community wants CoreWeave. I got to do it. I will do it. I'm not a new bank guy. Tanner's tried to convince me so many times. I'm not into new bank. So, and I'm just letting you guys know I'm very behind on the comments. So I'm going and just picking a bunch out. So I'm going to try to speed up a little bit on them. Thank you very much. I try to stay down the middle because I take a common sense approach. I think this is about the dividend harvesting series. Yes, market domination, and I like building that portfolio for risk mitigation and weekly income. Let's see. Relative to the portfolio, not huge, not big, but Dreamforce is this week, and I really am interested to see what comes out of it, and I need to really spend some time in the next couple of days and see what is going on with Dreamforce, because I do think Salesforce is an undervalued gem. No, I haven't done it. I mean, I did a little on Next and a little on VG, not nearly enough. I don't have any strong thoughts on it the way I do Energy Transfer and Enbridge. Oh, man. I'm going to say it's not the greatest trilogy, but I'm going to say it could be the greatest made trilogy of all time. Phenomenal movies. Absolutely phenomenal. And we can freaking go down the movie rabbit hole if you guys want. You can start throwing movie questions out there. We can transition. Got a lot of thoughts. Was talking to somebody today about it. I'm going to bring on the stream one night to really talk about some 80s and 90s movies. Indirectly. I am in Eastern time zone. Bitcoin 200K would be great for Ethereum. Yes, I have a storage unit that I keep everything in. It's temperature controlled. And yes. Nice. Milk Gang. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, this is a sore spot, guys. Very close friend of mine is an engineer. Asked him about it, and this was years ago. I think it was at like $6, and we never went in. So sore spot, definitely a sore spot. I mean, I will do a dedicated video on cover calls. What I will do is I will use. All right, so this is what we'll do. I have some blocks of NVIDIA that are naked right now. I will write some calls either at the end of this week or maybe next week, and then I'll do a video based off of what I did and show you what I did and explain it. We'll see. We will see. I see a lot of them on people's purses, so we'll see. Saturdays without fail, 9:30. Yes, I will be here. Rain or shine, definitely. There is no question. I like Amazon a lot, shareholder, and I would buy more. I couldn't tell you. Everybody likes different things. I don't know. I stick with Seeking Alpha for a lot of stuff, but I'm sure that there's other things that are more efficient. So I don't know. Seeking Alpha does a really good job at a lot of things, and they do a very good job at keeping up with all the latest headlines. So it's easy for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. We did, but I need to touch on Ethereum and the price. So look, I have been buying BMNR. I've been buying Ethereum. I am planning on buying more of both next week. And I do not know if Tom Lee's prediction is going to come true. I think it's more what's going to happen with stablecoins and tokenization to drive Ethereum into a deflationary coin. And once that happens, I think we'll see the price of Ethereum start to go up. And quite honestly, if you're still acquiring, you don't want Ethereum to shoot up because that means BMNR is going to shoot up. I would like to buy much more BMNR, and I'm perfectly fine with where the price is right now. And if it just stays sideways for a little bit, I'd be completely fine. I do not have spreads. I do not have naked calls. I only have shares, and I'm still acquiring. Now, I do think Ethereum has the potential to get to 10 or 15,000 in the next 2 years. Potential. It may or may not. And if it does, BMNR is going to be a home run. So we'll see what happens. Thank you very much. Yeah, realty income is great. I am going to do a video on that. Yeah, they're boring, but they're for generating income. They're not for replicating the market. I don't know. I liked UPS at one point. They've gotten crushed. I got to look at it again. Yeah, this is going to be volatile. Very volatile. Wow, somebody else is into PDI. I love it. Love it. Believe it or not, JEPQ has fallen out of my favorites. I have transitioned to a NEOS investments guy over the JP Morgan Asset Management. I actually started building something out. I was thinking about it today on the drive home. I am going to do a full covered call ETF showdown between Global X, JP Morgan Asset Management, Goldman Sachs, and NEOS Investment, the big eight, as I call them, compare them to S&P and NASDAQ, and really go through it. So I think everybody who's interested in covered call ETFs will really enjoy that video. Milkshakes are better than what? I agree, milkshakes are freaking great, but what are they better than? Are they in the S&P? I mean, listen, if they're in the S&P, then I'll own them, obviously indirectly. I mean, JetQ I like better than Jeppy, but it is what it is. I like the other ones more. The Neos ones are very good. We'll go over it. Overrated. Wagyu's overrated. Let's see. Yes, we will be opening sports packs. I believe basketball comes out on the 23rd. I will be getting some. We're gonna open some on stream, without a question. We're gonna do more. We ripped a pack. We ripped a box on Sunday night. And I gave it away to two people. We split it down the middle. So we'll do some other fun things like that. Love QQQI. Look, VTI and VOO are both great quality funds. I just prefer VOO. Let's see. I mean, look, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not gonna tell you where you should or should not. All I'm gonna tell you is that if I was starting out, S&P 500 would be what I start with and what I accumulate with the majority of my money. And I would do a lot of research and make sure I'm comfortable with the risk. S&P 500 is just, I think it's the standard. That's just me. Yeah, this is a good one. Have you looked at SPYG also? Very similar. I have not been to the Stumble Inn, the All American Stuffed Burger with tots on the side. All right, I got my pen, writing it down. Stumble Inn. All right, we'll check it out at some point. Yeah, I mean, they've gone through every single type of freaking regulation and whatnot, so I'm not too worried about it. I guess so. I call it dividend harvesting. So it's I don't know. I don't exactly know what dividend capture strategy is. I'm assuming it's the same exact thing as dividend harvesting. I'm just using positions to harvest the dividend and reinvest that income right back into the position. Let's see. Here we go. Movie questions. Yeah, Young Guns is classic. Love it. Haven't watched Young Guns 2, but Young Guns classic. Yeah, I wanted to see some more economic data, but look, if you go back and look at a S&P 500 chart with an overlay of recessions and interest rates, whenever unemployment goes up by 0.9%, we're either, or 1%, we're in a recession or we're just getting into a recession. And we are up 0.9 right now. It's never been that 100% foolproof and inverted yield curve was a telltale sign. It's like 88 to 95% accurate, but it's not 100%. That's why it didn't work out last time. But rising unemployment by 1% has always been a clear indication of recession. We're teetering on that, and it really freaking worries me what's going on, especially with AI and robotics. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. I mean, they have temperature control storage facilities in New York. So look, it's important that, like, here's one of the things. If you're going to buy stuff and keep it in your house, make sure there's no direct sunlight. Like, that's why I keep everything off site. Let's see. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Call me freaking milkman. I guess I am the milkman. Wow. Like I haven't been to Levin Bakery. I actually bullied Matt into ordering from there, and he concurred that is freaking amazing. Yeah, I think that's a good average. I do think that's a good average. Um, Regardless of price, I'm not sure which company you're talking about, but I am buying BMNR and Nvidia on pullbacks. So, wow, that's freaking great. Good job. Yeah, I actually the other week when it was at 58 or 59, I wrote cover calls a week out for 67. Premiums were huge. So that's one of those things. If there's an opportunity where BMNR is in the high 50s, I have written call options in the mid to high 60s for a week out to collect some premiums. So, I mean, can't be mad if it gets called away at that point. And then if it goes down, just buy it back. Yeah, grab something that I just haven't gotten into. Emmett's been trying to get me into grab for so long. I'm still not doing it. Nice. Somebody that likes Neos ETFs. They're freaking great. I just added the real estate one to my dividend harvesting series. I think it's IRYI or maybe it's IYRI, something like that. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, it's a nice combination. You got your fixed income, you got your spread on the NASDAQ. It's very nice. Magnificent Eight. Okay. Thank you. Somebody that agrees Wagner's overrated. I think it's overrated. Nothing. Not betting on the Dodgers. But I do think they're going to win. Yes, I'm having a blast. And the best part is honestly interacting with the chat when I'm done going on my rants and making the videos. That's why I stay on and go through the chat so much because I love interacting with you guys. It's great. No, I think this is Comcast, and no, not interested. How much do you need on a portfolio? It depends your definition of real income. I mean, I don't know what your definition of that is. I think that's subjective to every individual person. So, I mean, I don't know. I just wrote an article on Divo, Divo. It's pretty interesting. Look into it. It's pretty interesting. I think Uber is going to be great do well. I think they're going to be the biggest beneficiary of this because I don't think that the Tesla platform is going to be the winner. So I think Uber is going to be just fine. That's going to be a whole big video that we can do. Thank you for the idea. I will do a full video of that at some point. Okay. We can talk about predictions on Robinhood. We can do a video on that. I'll touch on it right now. What they created is freaking awesome. I think it is so cool seeing the contracts. I mean, you can tell by the point spread or based on the run line, whatever you're betting on traditional. But in the prediction market, you actually get to see where all the contracts are moving in real time. I think it's freaking awesome. None. None, because the Jets and Giants play on Jersey soil. They're not real New York teams. Love it. Love it. Wait till you see the logo that we came up with. Wait till you see it. We may make a t-shirt. We'll see. I may start wearing a Milkman t-shirt. We'll see. I would consider Palantir a defense stock at this point, so that's the only one that I own. I should have bought Lockheed. I didn't. Lockheed did really freaking well. And fun fact, Tom Cruise was in oh my god, what the hell? The Outsiders. Oh man, I have no idea. What my call sign be? I don't know. No idea. Phenomenal movie. Kind of upset they're talking about remaking it, but yeah, it's phenomenal movie. Oh my god. We'll do this one first. The storage facility has insurance because I am not going to buy boxes to rip them blindly. If there's something I want, I'm just going to buy it in a PSA 9 or a PSA 10. And to me, the data shows, at least with Pokemon, sealed product appreciates over time. There are two channels to watch: Nostalgianomics with Alex, who was on Alternative Asset Weekly last week. He's phenomenal. And Alpha Investments with Rudy. The craziest story. You want to go down a rabbit hole. The craziest story. This guy's insane. He's got to be worth $100 million at this point. He runs one of the probably the largest independent Pokemon Magic the Gathering business there is. It's absolutely crazy what he's built. And watch the two of them, and you'll get a very good understanding of what the market has done on that side of the alternative investments. Hot take: Caxes is overrated. Yeah, if you're holding things for 10, 20, 30 years, you have to worry about moisture. Absolutely. Yes, I like ARCC. It is, to me, the gold standard in business development corporations. I love it. I like PayPal. They're very frustrating for me. It's just, I think they should be paying a dividend right now. They're doing $6 billion in buybacks. I think they should take $3 billion and do a dividend with it. $3 billion in buybacks. They could come out of the gate with a 3 to 4% dividend yield and just really gain a lot of exposure. I don't understand why they're not doing it. Where's Becco? I've actually never heard of that. I've seriously never heard of that. Where is it and what is it? Um, that's all subjective. I mean, I can just tell you what I'm holding. I mean, the big companies, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Apple. I mean, I truly love those companies. I really do. Yeah, everybody keeps saying this. I haven't seen that it's actually happening. So let me look into it. I haven't seen it anywhere. I don't know about that. I mean, the data shows that people who invested from the beginning have gotten their entire investment back in distributions. So technically, they still have a free asset on their hands generating income. So it's your perspective on things. With those types of investments, you have to be okay with the share price going down in value. You just have to be okay with that. I may do something small. I mean, look, I obviously things are here first and before I move them to my storage unit. So I may do a little display with something behind it, not and siphon some stuff off. We'll see. I don't follow it. I really don't. Yeah, look, I don't know if it's going to recover or not, but it doesn't necessarily have to, depending on what your investment mindset is. I need to watch Noto's interview that he just did. I'm a big SoFi bull, as everybody knows. I'm a little annoyed about Derek White leaving. I'm a little annoyed about SoFi not giving more context. And I want to see what happens with the tech platform, but I think rate cuts are going to be incredible for SoFi. And I think it's going to do very well in 2026. Here we go. Tannor said it best with his comment about Musk hyping up the XAI. Meanwhile, he can't even summarize Tannor from his own account. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I can't tell you what to do. All I can tell you is you got to do what works for you. Milk Mafia, love it. You know, most people put scotch in this. When I don't have scotch in this, I have milk in this. Is the narrative why quantum is pumping? I don't know why quantum's pumping, but everybody says that it's very far away, and you won't convince me that these small companies like Rigetti or whatever they are going to beat something like Alphabet. I can't do it. Yeah, I like AGNC. The rent rolled a TBD dollar, compressed a little bit last quarter. I'm in it. I like it. I think there's going to be more loan originations as rates come down. So from an income perspective, I like it. No, but I may build a mock portfolio of what I have and do that, but not showing off the portfolio with dollar amounts or percentages. But maybe I'll do a look into and show everybody like what I'm actually holding. We'll see. That's hilarious. Oh, somebody who knows Alpha Investments. Nice. Yeah, Rudy's freaking amazing. Oh, look at this. Yeah, he's a really smart guy. He worked for who did he work? He worked for some big Wall Street company back in the day before he quit and went into this full time. He did a full video on his backstory. Really interesting guy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Didn't I just do an article on them? Hold on. If you're not following me on Seeking Alpha, yeah, I just did. I'll link it. Hold on. So I just did this the other day. Look, I like Seeking Alpha. I like Southern Company, and they're running a huge nuclear component of their company right now. I think they have 7 nuclear reactors. They do 27% of Georgia's electricity from nuclear. You're only going to see grid expansion. You're going to need more electricity as the data center rollout continues. So I'm all for it. I really like it. Yeah, hold on. I'll link that right now in the chat, last week's article. So I just put a link in the chat to it. Yeah, a couple people have asked me about STX. I like it, but I got to do more work on it. So Yeah, trust me, with the amount of people talking about this, I am going to look into it this weekend. Okay. All right, Michelle. I will, once I see it, I'll do it. Austin Harrison. Okay. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. Yeah, Sirius is interesting. I think the numbers make a lot of sense on their profitability. Um, I don't know why the market doesn't like it. I don't know why they haven't been acquired. It's amazing that Spotify hasn't acquired them. So, or maybe not Spotify, but an Apple. Like Apple would just make sense. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point that I did not know. Like I said, I'm planning on doing a lot of research this weekend. So, yes, when they are good, absolutely buying them. I used to be more bullish on SCHD than I am now. I've owned it for a long time. I was in it before covered call ETFs were a thing. I actually did a article on my newsletter website about this that I'll link. It's probably worth a read if you're interested in that. Hold on. Next. Finance. Give me one sec. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay. I'm linking this. I don't know how much I'm going to post on here, but this is interesting. If you're interested in SCHD, that's interesting. What I wrote there. Yes, I love fresh white Russian cookies. Absolutely. No, not really. I honestly think go watch The Compound and Friends. Go watch um, Animal Spirits. I think they put out some really great work. I really think those guys are top notch. I think they do a really good job. So I would start watching that. I don't know. If you want to understand more financial analysis, you could read the boring book, Financial Secure. What was it by Financial Analysis by I don't remember who wrote it. I'll find it and link it. But you can just do with how good AI is. I would just learn how to do financial analysis right now. So, I mean, look, the most important thing: learn how to read income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Oh boy, you're making me hungry. Could be cookie time soon. I will go to the bakery on Saturday, most likely. We'll see. It depends. Some companies pay you a quarterly dividend, which is every 3 months. Some pay monthly. So it all depends. We can get into that more deeper another time. I love the milk mafia too. There's Austin. LOL. I didn't even see it. Hold on. Let me go back. Is that actually his name is show? Like I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just eyes crossed. Um, Hold on, hold on, hold on. I think I found him. Oh, you know what? I have to do it in the. I'm not in the YouTube chat. I have to do it in the YouTube chat. So I'll go back and figure it out. Yeah, we'll do a video on going through income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement. Absolutely. It's actually very important. Oh man, I wanted to be in DraftKings. I wanted to invest in DraftKings. And I got to tell you, I am scared about DraftKings because of the big, beautiful bill. They put something in there where, sorry, just went onto the YouTube one so I could do the mod for real quick. But the big, beautiful bill did something where is mod. Okay. Um, you can only deduct 90% of your losses from your wins. That's a problem for me because you can potentially have, if you take, let's use these numbers, $1,000 and put into a sports betting account like DraftKings and just bet for 3 months. You're up, down, up, down, up, down. Let's say you finally crap out and you're down a grand. But let's say you generated $100,000 worth of winning bets and then $100,000 of losing bets over that time, even though you lost your money, the IRS now is going to say come 2026, you can only deduct 90% of your losses. So you can only deduct 90 grand from the 100,000. So even though you never made 10 grand, you still have a phantom win of $10,000 on your freaking tax statement that you don't have to pay taxes on. So unless that gets repealed, I think it's going to be very bad for them. Very bad. I mean, I would seriously say watch Amit and Tanner. They're freaking amazing. And go subscribe to them. They're absolutely amazing. I mean, that's a foundational question for life. I agree. Oreos or chocolate chip cookies? Man, I can't tell you. Sometimes you're just in the mood for a chocolate chip cookie. And sometimes you're just in the mood for an Oreo cookie. Is Oreo Milk's favorite cookie? I don't know. Sometimes I'm in the mood for both. Um, Very hard. I mean, I'm interested. What does everybody like? Oreo or Chips Ahoy, or Oreo or chocolate chip? And then what type of chocolate chip? Do you like Tate's? Do you like Archway? Do you like Famous Amos? Chips Ahoy? I mean, Pepperidge Farm, Entenmann's. Like, there's so many good ones. So many. Yeah, I'm not staying up till 2 a.m. I have to function tomorrow, but I'm certainly not pulling an all-nighter. I will be going through it and taking care of it. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate everything. What type of cakes do you bake, and what are your favorite cakes to bake? I just got out of Baba. I was in Baba for a long time, and I just got out of it. Yeah, probably because of tokenization and securitization and stable coins. It is what everything's going to be built on. It's not looked at as a store of value. It has a ton of utility. So the smart contract asset is built for Wall Street. Yeah, I love Amazon, so love it. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to put it out of business, but I do think Robinhood prediction markets is a problem for DraftKings. Phenomenal. He's freaking great. Here we go. Here we go. Love it. Love it. I only want Oreos with milk, LOL, chocolate chip cookies. I only want fresh, so no milk. I get it. I definitely get it. I mean, I want milk with both, but I guess that's what happens when you're the milkman. Okay, Matt. I'm going to say bull. Where's the message? I don't have a text from you. I called you yesterday. I sent you a link, I believe. And if you say that you messaged me on WhatsApp, which I barely check, which you didn't, you're not ignoring my messages. Do you want a link and come on? Let me know. Come on now. Yes, I have. And I'm good. I like it. Good combo. No, I have not. What is a Selena Gomez Oreo? What crazy combination is this? That's funny, mate. Let me see if I can get some. That's freaking hilarious. I should do that. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I do like it. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna. Let's see if he's just trolling or if he's serious. It's 10 o'clock his time. Let's send Mr. Matt a link. So just bear with me. Let's see if he's serious or not, or if he's just saying, "Oh, you're not getting back in touch with me." I'm calling bull. I'm calling bull. All right, Matt. Go check your ex. I just sent you the link. Let's see. Because you didn't text me, you didn't call me back. Wait, Michelle, in all seriousness, do you have an online store or do you own a bakery? Because if you do, I want to plug it and I want to buy from you. I mean, if you like the food talk, I'm going to bring somebody on. We're going to pick a night. I'm going to work it out with him. Maybe it'll be Tuesday night, maybe it'll be Monday night of next week. After I'm done talking about stocks, I'm going to bring him on. He's an ex-chef. It's going to be a really crazy food conversation. So we'll get into it. I'm going to bring him on. Special guest. Special guest. I don't know. I guess maybe, but I don't know. All right, let's see. I make custom cakes from home. So like birthday cakes, baby showers, and weddings, that kind of thing. Online bakery, though. I enjoy my free time. Okay, do me a favor. If this is something where you're doing this for a business, send me the information. Send me the information. Send it to my ex or send it to my ex, and let's do something. Yeah, I mean, listen, homemade is always going to be the best. Absolutely. And bring plenty of milk, words to live by. How long do you dip your Chips Ahoy in milk before you take a bite? I mean, it's got to be a dunk. Like you don't just, it's not superficial. It's got to sit there for a little bit and then you take it out. It's got to sink in. It's got to sink in. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I don't know. If I want peanut butter and chocolate, I'm gravitating toward a Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup. I really am. I don't know. And frozen Reese's Pieces peanut butter cups are freaking amazing. Curveball. Chocolate chip cookies or brownie bites? Chocolate chip cookies. And here's why. There is a point where there's too many brownie, like too much brownie ingestion. but there's never a point where you don't want another chocolate chip cookie. Like, at least with me. If I go to the bakery and I get like one of those dense brownies, after one, I really don't want another one. If I get a big chocolate chip cookie, like I had on stream on Saturday, after I finish it, I still want another one. What are you talking about? Bull. You could have sent me a link to come on Cash Flow Chronicles. You didn't. I was in the chat talking to you guys and talking to the chat. I didn't see a link come up. There's no evidence of a link coming up, Matt. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not calling him out. I want him to come on. He doesn't want to join. He doesn't want to join. He's leaving me hanging. I think both are winners. So I don't think you go wrong with either of them. I think they're both winners. What is a Post Malone Oreo? Dude, I must not be in the freaking Oreo game much. I don't know what's going on here. I need to find out what this is, what all this is. Although I do like that you can make custom Oreos on the website and have them sent to you. I think that's freaking awesome. Did you ever watch Silicon Valley? Silicon Valley is such a great show. No, you can't, will never convince me to leave my wife and live in a pod with a mid Tanner. What would be funny is if we all rented a house for like a week and just freaking sat there and talked about stocks and made investments live. That may be freaking hilarious. Let's see what happens. Yes, absolutely. They're amazing. Yeah, I think he's messing with me. I think he's absolutely messing with me because he didn't get in touch with me. What are you talking about? Matt, come on. I mean, we're all right. You know what? I need to see what this is. So hold on. Selena Gomez Oreo. What is this? Chocolate and cinnamon cream? Chocolate and cinnamon cream. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. Chocolate and cinnamon cream. This is all right, let me, for those of you that don't know what I'm pondering, let me bring it up. Hold on. So chocolate flavor cinnamon cookie, chocolate and cinnamon flavor cream, and then sweetened condensed milk flavor cream with cinnamon sugar inclusions. Interesting. Very interesting. I'll try it. I'll commit to trying it. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'll commit to trying it. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, Michelle, you need to send me the info. Please send me the info. Oh, awesome. Yes. Just food, no fitness. We don't lift anymore. Clams Casino. Are you talking about Clams Casino pizza from freaking Pepe's up in New Haven? You think I don't know about that? Come on now. I agree. Two great subjects, stocks and food. I get it. I'm going to do a cookie review series, yes. Am I a fan of the Tres Leches? Yes. Okay, I'm offended. I'm offended that this is implying that I've never tried a cannoli cake. If that's what we're implying here, I'm a little offended. A little offended. Of course I've tried a cannoli cake. Now, obviously not from the shop, but I've had cannoli cake, obviously. Maple bacon, I'm not into that. No. Oh, man, there's not just one. There's so many. So many. Mangley, Jeter, I mean, Jordan, Kobe. I mean, it's hard for me not to put Jeter number one, but I mean, Kobe is just him and Jordan, incredible. If you like basketball, go watch Kobe Bryant's Muse. It's freaking incredible. It was done on Showtime. It's incredible. All right, this is a very interesting topic. One of my coworkers and me actually talked about this for a good 15 minutes one day, and it's very hard. It's very hard. I don't know. I still can't pick a favorite. I mean, people don't put 100-gram bar up in the top 5, which I think is a mistake. I really think the 100-gram bar is freaking great. I really do. I stand corrected. I guess I didn't see it. Oh, look at this guy.
Steven.
Matt
Think
makes money.
You think you're better than me?
I do not think I'm better than you. You think you're better than me.
You're right.
Listen, it's okay. If I had your money, I'd donate mine. It's all right.
You always say that, Steven, but yet you're the one that had like 1,000 people watching your live stream earlier. I saw that.
It's all because of Tanner. It's all because of Tanner, not me. Oreo cookie that's been tattooed. Yeah, it has been tattooed. I mean, what lemon Oreos are fire? What is going on here? Like, did I miss like some crazy craze with Oreos that happened?
Oh, Steven, he's unbuttoning. He's trying to get those views up.
No, my freaking eyes started burning.
Yeah, okay.
No, but seriously, did I miss some type of Oreo craze? Like, what's going on here?
You know what I did have? So my mom's new boy toy. He works for Mondelez as a distributor, and maybe I shouldn't say that, but so he tries a bunch of different things. I forget what. I did make it to the office at 5 a.m. Thank you guys. They were very impressed. The lights were all off. I couldn't keep them on because they're all motion detector. But,
Maddie, have you gone to a Waffle House?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I don't do it. It's not my first place I'd like to go. I'd rather go to a regular diner, which we don't have a lot of good diners here in Houston. So
I've been to Waffle House. I'm good with Waffle House, but I would rather go to a regular diner over Waffle House.
Yeah. I want to go to that diner that you showed me. I'm not going to say what it is, but the one that we picked up when I visited you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. You could say it.
Yeah. I don't want to let people know.
Guys, the one that Matt's talking about, this diner makes so much money. They're only open from like 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. It's insane. They're always packed. It's incredible. Yeah, Stag and Maine. I actually own both.
Stag was a good one, man. I bought that one. When it was $15, and held it for a long time. I was at the time I was obsessed with monthly dividend payers, and my thought process was at the time I didn't have a lot of money, and so I was like, if I'm going to invest in real estate, I was like, then these are the things that I should probably buy. and Stag and Realty Income were great. And by the time I ended up getting like 50 grand in Realty Income at some point, that's when I started to make a little bit more moves in physical real estate. But
I
yeah,
think I agree with this person. The Selena Gomez cookie should be ice cream instead of a cookie.
I missed it. What
I
is
agree
the
with
Selena Gomez ice cream?
It's a cookie
Oh,
that, I mean,
I
I
don't hate
agree.
that.
This should be a freaking ice cream instead of a cookie. We need to write to Oreos and have them make this as an ice cream flavor.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I don't hate that either. I like that. Oh, thank you for the idea. This would be a great video.
I would
Because
participate in this. Sorry,
this is
if I
like,
can.
there's so many good cereal. Like, are we going to go like full degenerate and go like freaking Cookie Crunch? Like, we're going to go like, I don't know. There's so many good cereals.
Dude, I went offshore many moons ago, but I haven't been offshore in a while. But that was the best. Like I always heard, when I first joined the industry, like, oh, you want like a plethora of cereals that you never tried before, like go offshore. And I go into the break room, and of course, like they always have a chow room always kind of going. Like I think they serve 3 different meals a day, maybe 4 different meals a day. But in between, like they're obviously cleaning and prepping for the next meal, etc. So, middle of the night, like past midnight to like 3 a.m., they don't obviously have any food for you at the dining hall, so you have to go to the break room. And I have never seen so many different types of cereals in my entire life, and so I was in heaven. I love cereal.
I went to freaking sleepaway camp one year for not gonna say what sport, but for like it was I think 4 or 5 nights, and in the breakfast hall, I had never seen. I mean, obviously, I was a lot freaking younger. Just all the huge freaking plastic things with all the cereal in it, like 30 different cereals. It was crazy. Crazy.
Gotta go back, Steven. Gotta go back.
Tried lemon olive oil cake. I have not. And I don't know how I feel about that. I have tried Mrs. Fields cookie cake. It's okay.
I haven't had Mrs. Fields cookie cake. I don't believe.
It's okay.
I don't think the olive oil cake is like to get the flavor of the olive oil, though. I think the olive oil is meant to keep it super moist. And I think it's the same technique that people use with mayonnaise. Like you'd think like using mayonnaise in a cake is disgusting, but it's the same sort of thought process. Like it's really to keep it super moist on the inside.
Who actually makes a 100-gram bar? Nestle.
Was it you I was on the phone with the other day Yes, it was you. I was on the phone with the other day trying to decide. I hadn't had like a candy bar in a while.
Yes.
And they didn't have the 100 grand.
I want to get a good picture, so hold on. We're gonna fix this right now. Like, I'm sorry, 100-gram bar is so legit. Like, come on.
You're legit, Steven.
All right. Why I gotta.
Steven, I have a question. Do you think I screwed up today?
I have no idea what you're talking about. So hold on. Let before we get into that, because I really don't know what you're talking about. This is a 100-gram bar. Rich caramel, milk chocolate, crispy crunchies, caramel rico. I mean, that's the Spanish version, but delicious. Delicious. It's top 5 candy bar. Top 5.
Been a minute for me, Steven.
What did you mess up, Matt?
So Nubank has never been like a stronghold position. And I've been thinking about this and pondering over the past couple of days. It's not that I dislike Nubank, but you know me, I like to keep more consolidated, concentrated positions than, sporadic all over the place. And so my thought process was like, okay, well, I've made some good money in Nubank. Not, barn burning money or anything like that, but, enough where it's like, okay, but Nubank doesn't like fire me up. Like, I think it's a good place to put money. Like, if you want to but anyway, I was just like, you know what? And it was
IHOP versus Waffle House. I don't know.
I'd probably have to go IHOP. Although waffles can be good sometimes. But back to the topic
I'm not a
hand,
Nubank guy, so I can't tell you. I've never invested. I don't.
So long story short, I sold Nubank and I put all that money into Amazon.
Listen, I love Amazon, so
yeah. So
it.
I mean, it increased my position by about, I don't know, 30-40%, something like that. So I don't know. I don't think I'll regret it because I've always wanted to get more Amazon. And the way I look at it is, I mean, I have an okay size position in Amazon. It's not nearly as large as I'd want it to be. But my thought process is that Amazon will eventually be $1,000 stock.
Thank you, Dylan. Amazing.
What's that?
No, this comment's amazing.
So if you want to be a millionaire, just buy 1,000 shares of Amazon, and eventually you'll be a millionaire because it'll eventually be $1,000 a share. So, so that's kind of my thought process. I'd love to get to 1,000 shares because eventually it'll be $1 million position. And I'm obviously not there yet, but I'm getting closer and closer with every purchase. So I don't know. Part of me is just like, what would I be more happy about, having this smaller position in Nubank and see it potentially grow and try to cross the 6-figure mark, or to get to a position where eventually it's going to be a 7-figure position in Amazon? That was just like, okay, well, that kind of makes me a little bit more fired up. So do you think I fucked up?
You know that I like Amazon a lot. I don't know a lot about Nubank. I don't think you can go wrong on Amazon, and I do think that Amazon is going to be a huge beneficiary in robotics and AI. And I think that they have the ability over the next several years to get to a 20% operating margin. And at a 20% operating margin, that's only going up by 8.2% from where their margin currently is. And on $1 trillion of revenue, which they're expected to do in 2029, that'll be $200 billion operating income. So I'm all in on Amazon. I love them.
Are they going to hit 750 next year, you think?
I don't know. I gotta look. I don't know.
I forget what their TTM is at, but I mean, they're getting into the high 600s, mid 600s at this point, at least, which is just, I remember when they hit 500, I was like, there's no fucking way.
Can we discuss Wawa?
Yeah.
Why is Wawa not in New York? Like, Wawa's freaking amazing. Amazing.
I like Sheetz more, believe it or not.
I've never even heard of Sheetz. What's Sheetz?
Sheetz is, so Wawa is great. So I love Wawa. Like, obviously when I'm home, for those people that don't know, I grew up in southeastern Pennsylvania. I plan on eventually moving back there. Eventually, I live in Houston now. So,
right.
And then I have some property in New Jersey. So I'm potentially going to move back to southeastern PA, South Jersey area. So that's pretty rampant with Wawa, but Sheetz is more of like a Western Pennsylvania, mid Pennsylvania sort of thing. So I went to Penn State for school, and that was mostly dominated by Sheetz.
Breaking news. Hold on, everybody. Breaking news. Amit just put out his first Substack, I think.
Oh, good. I know he was going to say he was going to work on it.
Hold on. I want to share this. Let me copy the link. So Amit was wanted to do 1 or 2 Substacks a month. It looks like he just put one out, so everybody should read it. I'm going to read it later tonight or tomorrow. What were you saying, Matt?
Nothing. Yeah, always support Amit. So yeah, please read it. I'm excited to see what it says. But no, Sheetz is interesting. So for anybody that wants to know my version of the debate, because it's a huge contentious thing in Pennsylvania, Sheetz versus Wawa. Maybe it's not so much in New York because you don't know much about Sheetz, but it's, to me, Wawa, like, just even like 10, 15 years ago, didn't even have like simple things like mozzarella sticks and things like that. All they really had was like soft pretzels, and their sandwiches used to be a lot better. So, and I will say, at least from my experience, when I lived up in Pennsylvania, the made to order sandwiches at Wawa were better than Sheetz, but all the snack foods and stuff at Sheetz, like you could get boneless wings and mozzarella sticks and, other fried foods, etc. Those were way better, obviously, at Sheetz, and Wawa for a long time didn't even offer any of them. So, obviously in college, if you're looking for, quick food, Sheetz was better than Wawa in that respect. So
I get it. I need to try it. So I will tell you, if there's anybody in New York, go to Kitchen Cabaret. Matt, I'm about to knock your freaking socks off. I don't know why they don't have a picture of their steak teriyaki hero. It's freaking amazing. Check this deli out. God, I should not do this late at night. Because now it's just like I just want to, I'm making myself hungry. I don't like doing that.
Well, I napped from like 4 to 7 because I didn't get a full night's sleep. So I
look at that.
Just got stuff on the way. Oh, the Italian rainbow cake.
I mean, full coffee. I mean, they do such serious stuff here. I love this place. They do everything.
Hot Steven, man. I'm trying to understand if people come here for stock talk or if they come here for your food reviews.
So freaking amazing. Amazing.
Look at that. That looks pretty good.
So good. So good. I gotta tell you, that would be the hardest thing for me to leave New York is the food, man. The food is spectacular.
I don't know if I told you this. So I when I was up there for the Palantir thing, I had never really had like good kimchi before. I don't like dislike kimchi, but I've never had something where I've been like, oh, like I love kimchi, like I need kimchi. Dude, like I had legit kimchi from Koreatown, and it is so fucking delicious. I had no idea how good kimchi is because I just never had kimchi that was made correctly, I guess. And so now I'm just like, I want to go to Korea because like I had no idea how much I actually enjoyed good kimchi, that I'm actually kind of curious. Like if I get it straight from the source in the motherland, like how good is that shit going to be?
So I want to show you something, Matt. All right. This could be the best cannoli I've ever had in my life. I'm about to knock your socks off with this. I don't like how I have to go in and redo it. So if you're staying in the city, check out Cafe Palmero in Little Italy. Baby Johnny, it's just, this place is unfreaking believable. I mean, these cannolis are to die for, Matt. To die for.
Jesus.
To die for. Like,
that chicken parm sub looked pretty good.
This place is incredible. Incredible. The fact that they have like a life-size cannoli thing, it's amazing.
Not as amazing
Absolutely
as
amazing.
Do you like this normal cannolis or do you like the chocolate chip cannoli?
I like normal cannolis. I don't need the chocolate chips because I'm usually having a cannoli with coffee, so I don't really want the chocolate chip with it. But yeah.
And you're a Pikes guy, you said, from
a what?
A Pikes guy from Starbucks?
Yeah, I'll do Pike or Verona. It doesn't, either one's fine.
Yeah, I like Verona. Verona's
good.
Blonde. It's a little lighter. Pike just tastes too burnt for me.
So
before I knew what good coffee was, which I still don't, because I don't have a very sophisticated coffee palate, but yeah, I like Verona.
I would recommend watching if you watch the Andrew Schultz show, he had the owner Carbone on. It was great. So look, this is
That podcast is great. I love that podcast.
I don't say this lightly. And I do say because the people I was with probably made it a little bit better. But this was the best meal I've had in New York.
Carbone.
Yeah. Now, not steak, excluding steak. Just it was the best meal I've had in New York.
I wanted to go when we were going.
Incredible.
We went to Vegas for Mitt's birthday back in 23.
I felt like I was in my grandmother's basement. Like I really did. It was just, oh my God.
There you go, Steven.
So freaking incredible. I need to go back. I need to go back. Freaking incredible. I love food. What can I say? I'm a foodie.
I think you need to go back, Steven.
We need to go back, Matt.
Yeah. And I did. Yeah, I got. I think Dutch Bros is officially back in the buy segment these days. So yeah, I paused Nubank, I paused SoFi, and started buying Dutch Bros. So Dutch Bros made it back into the portfolio today. So I need to update a lot of stuff. I bought some more Ethereum, some Bitcoin. It's the 15th, right? So 15th of the month, always investing, right? Bought more Palantir, Rocket Lab.
Matt, when you come up to New York area, you're on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
For a little bit. Have you ever gone to Scarpetta in Philly?
No, but I've heard phenomenal things.
Dude, Scarpetta is incredible also. That was a really good freaking meal also. Like, oh.
Yeah, are you going to be around Thanksgiving time?
Yeah.
All right, I'll need to make it up there. At least you're going to be around for Christmas as well?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done Christmas in New York. That'd be dope, actually. I wouldn't mind doing Christmas in New York for a day or two.
I mean, it's cool. I mean,
so yeah, maybe I'll go up and see Amit, do some stuff. I still haven't seen Amit's apartment. It'd be nice to see it.
Yeah, come up. I'll take the two of you out.
I'll reminisce about when I moved back and had my nice high-rise apartment.
You know where I've never gone? You're going to think this is crazy. And I've never been here. And I should probably go just for the hell of it. I'm like so shocked I've never been here. It's right.
Shit. Hot Amit's in the chat.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Amit, check your text message. Your phone's on silent. Check it. So for everybody, Amit put out a Substack. Go read it. I put the link. Amit, if you want to come on, let me know. So Matt, you're going to know where this is or what this is. I've never been here.
I have no idea what that is.
Really?
Yeah, no. Is that New York?
The chat's going to be like, what do you mean you've never been here? So Spark Steakhouse is where Gotti whacked out Castellano.
I've heard that. Yeah, okay.
Right outside, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I've never freaking been here, ever.
Maybe that's, maybe if we can convince Chris to come up. Because Chris
I don't
wants
know
to come
if
up.
it's any good. I mean, I don't know anybody that goes here. I really don't. Like, I think I don't even know if it's famous because of that or anything. Like, I don't know anybody that goes here. Like,
maybe
everybody I know goes
going
other places.
after somebody allegedly got whacked out front.
Oh, it's a very famous thing. Oh, look at that. My screen actually updated. This is one of my favorite steakhouses, Matt. Why didn't it update when I click on it? Like, that's so annoying.
The old homestead. Where's
Have
that
you ever
at?
been there?
What part of the city is that?
Oh, dude. Oh,
You don't need to pull it up. It's fine. I'll just.
it is so ridiculous. It's on the west side. The financials. Dude, where's the gallery? Do they not have a freaking gallery on this? What is going on here?
Get him, Steven.
I don't want to go to their freaking Instagram. They should have it on the website. That's ridiculous.
You should write to corporate.
I
Tell them
should.
you're upset. You
It's
should.
not okay. It's just not okay.
Say, look, I'm an enthusiast. I stream in front of thousands of people every day.
Not okay.
I'm trying to showcase your delicious
I'm
menu.
trying to showcase their red meat. It's not good. No good.
And you're doing yourself a disservice.
No good. But yeah, we need to go get some steaks. I'm actually, Amit and I are gonna grab lunch on Monday,
Okay.
and I'm either gonna. Oh, you know what? Get your opinion. All right, hold on. So I'm gonna either take him to Uncle Jack's, not Ben and Jack's, but Uncle Jack's. So hold
Okay,
on.
I was about to ask, is that like a nickname for?
No. So locations, West Side. Like this place is legit. Do they have pictures? Few pictures. So hold on. All right. So this is option one. So admit if you're still watching, we're going to one of these two places. So this is option A.
What's that? Well, I like the atmosphere in there.
Oh, it's so cool. My office used to be right around the corner from this. I would freaking go sit at the bar by myself at like 11:45 before people started coming in, just have a burger and watch CNBC. It is so freaking good.
Like a good old tomahawk.
Good old tomahawk. So good. All right, so this is option A. And then option B is Wolfgang's.
Oh, never. Have you been to Wolfgang's?
I bet, yeah, of course.
Uncle Puck's?
I wasn't sure what I was walking into when I went there. It was so freaking good. I couldn't believe how good it was. I really couldn't. Hold on. Why can't you freaking? They really not have a freaking gallery? Like, what is wrong with these places?
Call him up tomorrow, Steven. Tell him. Say, look, I was streaming in front of thousands of people yesterday.
Like, I don't like that you can't, like, look at this stuff. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Wolfgang's or Uncle Jack's is where I'm going to take them. Ridiculous.
Yeah, Ray. I asked Ray. We got to get something because we need to get Doug involved too. Where we're going out. I need to get out of. So all I've been doing is working and like eating my baby food. I need like a decent, well cooked.
Nice slab of beef.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'm with you. Nice slab of beef. Look, I'm with it.
Slap of the base.
Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, yeah, well, I'm gonna take them to somewhere. It's gonna be good. We'll see. I'm excited. I like food. What can I say? I like food, Matt.
Steven, you're a good man.
So
I never followed up because it's only Wednesday. Did your delivery of your dairy products go well on Sunday.
It did. It went very well, actually.
No, I've tried to get Steve to go to Mexico. He won't leave the United States.
No, absolutely not. There's a 0% chance.
See, I've tried.
0%. Not even
I've tried, my friends. I've tried.
0%. I agree with you, June. Absolutely. Steak is very healthy for you. It's all natural. I'm ready. Yeah.
Yeah,
look,
my hope was I could just, I'll supply the cigars. I'll hang out.
I'm with them. You know what? Liam Nielsen is not coming to find me. Okay.
I'd pay to get you found, Steven.
Liam Nielsen is not coming to find me.
What
Not
about me?
happening.
I don't have a lot of
Liam
skills.
Nielsen
but
is
I would
not
try.
coming to find me. I'm not going. What's the reason to go? Why am I going to Mexico? What am I going to do in Mexico that I can't do here?
Well, do you want the political correct answer, or do you want the Matt Farley answer?
I mean, let's not answer.
It's not really not that bad.
Yeah, so let's just not answer and just say that there's 0% chance of going to Mexico.
Okay, I was gonna say. I mean,
You and Tevez can go have fun.
Tevez talks in Spanish, and can be like teaches me a little Spanish. I drink a little tequila.
No, thank you.
I get out of my element. I hit the hard reset button. That's pretty much it.
Ooh, I think that Paul meant what is the best fast food restaurant?
What was?
What's the best fast food restaurant?
Oh, is that a question?
I mean, it's hard not to say McDonald's, right?
I don't know. I've been for a quick meal these days because I'm trying to stay under like.
But is Five Guys and is like Shake Shack considered fast food? And are we throwing
Say it's more fast casual.
What's it?
But I give it. I'd open for that if people want to talk about that.
What's a chicken place that's freaking great?
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah. Are we throwing those in fast food?
Chick-fil-A is definitely fast food. I wouldn't say Five Guys.
Amazing.
I'd say Five Guys is more fast casual. But
yeah.
I mean, if people want to keep that in there. I like Whataburger. I know it's like so I'd say McDonald's is best overall, right? Because I think you can go to anywhere in McDonald's around the country and you're going to get a pretty consistent product.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what does everybody think about this? What's the best fast food restaurant?
But I also really like Wendy's chicken sandwiches too. But
spicy chicken from Wendy's is pretty good.
Yeah. But lately, because I'm trying to cut back a good bit, I've been doing a lot of the Whata Wings from Whataburger because they're like 800, 900 calories with a ranch cup. And
Matt, you know what I want to do? I want to come to Texas, and I just want to freaking.
At that point, you might as well just go to Mexico.
I want no, absolutely not. Texas is the good old USA. I want to go to Texas. I want to have some barbecue.
Okay. I got some.
What I want to do.
Do you want the high class barbecue, or do you just want like the
I want all of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can go to multiple spots. There's nothing
all
wrong.
of it. All of
You
it.
can even go to Austin. Austin would be good. Take it to Austin. We got to get you down here, though. I don't know, Steven. Sometimes you're a hard cookie to crack.
I can be kidnapped in Houston.
Steven's high profile. I don't know if you guys know, but when I met up with Steven, he had like 3 security guards around him.
I did not have 3 security guards on me.
He's being modest, okay? Maybe there was 2, but so he's being very peculiar about his words. I did not have 3. All right, he said I didn't have the, you know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway.
Oh, now this is a good question. This is a serious question. There was a time. I will tell you, there was a time where Burger King was making a run on fries.
Burger King fries aren't bad.
There was a time when Burger King was making a run on fries.
I'll say, so I haven't been eating as many fries because of just trying to be healthier. And today was actually the first time I had fries in a long time. And I had Chick-fil-A fries with my lunch, and I just wasn't happy. I just didn't like them. They weren't badly made. It's not like they were like floppy or anything like that. It's just, I don't, the older I get, I just feel like, I don't get as much out of the French fries as I used to when I was kind of growing up.
I gotta go with freaking McDonald's on the fries. Even though I had Wendy's fries the other week,
Oof.
I gotta go with McDonald's fries. Just gotta do it.
McDonald's fries, when they're good, they're the saltiest,
They're so good.
the most delicious.
Did you watch the movie The Founder?
Yes,
How good was that movie?
I thought it was great.
That was
It
great.
inspired
That
me
was great.
to screw over my enemies and inspired me.
I thought it was great. Freaking great.
Freddy's fries. Freddy's is. I like
Oh
Freddy's.
my, The Founder was great. Yeah, love Michael Keane. Love Michael Keane.
Freddy's is good. Well, I'll let you finish. I'm going to make something small.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for 15 minutes and then I'm gonna go.
But I'll be listening. I'm going to make something
Over
small
midnight?
downstairs. And it was good catching up with you, though. And
You too.
don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Okay.
All right, my man.
Later.
Later, brother.
All right, so we're gonna go for another 14 minutes, and then I gotta get some sleep. I gotta be up in 8 hours and 15 minutes. So let's answer some more question. 15 minutes and 2 hours. Oh, listen, on a work night, 15 minutes is going to actually be 15 minutes unless it's like 10 o'clock, but you know. Trying to. We'll see. We'll see. You know, sometimes I don't eat breakfast. It really depends on how much time I have. Usually I'll run out at like 9:30 or 10 and I'll get 3 eggs on a wrap with peppers and onions, salt, pepper, ketchup. That's normally my breakfast when I'm like halfway done my coffee. My breakfast is just liquid. It's just getting a coffee from Starbucks and driving into work. I don't really drink much, but diners, without a question. Now, if you don't mind, I want to make this, I'm taking a picture of this. I'm going to turn this into a t-shirt. I am absolutely turning that into a freaking t-shirt. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Listen, I wouldn't do it, but if it works for them, I'm happy for them. I wouldn't do it though. This is too much good food. Too much good food. One of these days. Absolutely horrible if you don't have a garage spot. Absolutely horrible. There's no parking. You have to go to a garage. I agree. One day this summer, I will probably order from Omaha Steaks, Snake River Farm, and Triple Sixes, which I've never had. And I'll do a whole thing on that. I think that would be a thing. No, I never have, but I will. I'll tell you this: you get me in like a ice cream or a cookie challenge, I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. I don't know how like Joey Chestnut and those guys do it. That's crazy, but I am pretty confident I will do well in a freaking ice cream or cookie contest. Listen, Man vs. Food was such a fun show to watch. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Man vs. Food was freaking great. I got a bunch of Cubans in the humidors right behind me, Maddie. No, I used to lift all the time. Like I used to be yoked, not anymore. Still a little big, but I used to be yoked. There's so many beef jerkies now. I mean, I still think Jack Link's teriyaki is just the standard for me. So I don't know. I have not, but I will. I will. No, you don't. You don't need to. You just gotta lift the right way and eat. You don't need that stuff. You only need it if you're competing because everybody else is doing it. But there's no reason to do that stuff. In my opinion, you don't need it. Eat red meat, eat eggs. You're good. I legitimately do not have freaking time to lift. I mean, I used to go to the gym an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. I don't have the time to freaking lift it. I'm in the lamb chops. I like lamb. I like veal. I like venison. I like all that stuff. I like bison. Bison's freaking great. This eBay PSA vault for cars that yeah, they did a really interesting job. Until you actually take possession of something, it's very interesting. How am I grumpy? I'm not grumpy. Card opening stream is going to happen. No. If I was younger and this was around, we would have been doing some interesting stuff. I can tell you that. Unfortunately, no. Not coming up to Boston. I know nothing about Pokemon. I just buy the boxes as assets because they go up in value. I've never been to In and Out. I just never been. Never been. There's none over here. A lot of people rave about it. Yeah, there's a reason why the scalpers are going crazy over them. Nope. I believe it or not, I've never had White Castle in my life, ever. I have no interest in White Castle. It looks disgusting. I've never had it. Little bit, little bit, little bit. Let's just say that if you want to go down the rabbit hole on craps, I have a mathematical system that does pretty well. To me, there is nothing better than being at an energetic craps table with your friends and other people. Is so much fun. I'm waiting for GTA 6 to come out, and then I'll probably take like a week off and just play it. I think, yeah, it's like everybody's plan. I am jealous. I will tell you, when I was in Montana, I couldn't believe how like the meat is just freaking different. It's just freaking different. Oh boy. All right. Come bets are the worst bets. Don't do it. The very quick version, we'll go in $10 increments to make the math easy. If you put 10 on the pass line, you put 2 on any craps, because any crap pays 7-1, and it protects you on the 2, 3, and 12. So if you hit a 7 or 11, you make 10 on the pass line, but you lose 2 on any crap, you're net 8 positive. Still have your $10 bet up. If you crap out, you lose your 10, but you make 14 because your any crap bet, and your any crap bet stays up. So you're actually up 4, and you put your 10 back up on the pass line. So that's your insurance to make sure no matter what happens on a crap or a 7 or 11, you come out ahead. Now, once a point is established, let's just say the point is 4, you place the 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, because now you have all 6 numbers and their combinations. I believe it's 24 combinations on 36 combinations of the dice with those, and it's 66.67% chance of one of your numbers hitting, whereas a 7 has 6 combinations and a 16.67% chance at winning. And you now have a 50% house edge over the house on every roll. With the way the odd structure on those bets on the numbers work, you would need roughly 3 to 4 numbers to hit for all your money to be made back, and then you're free rolling the entire roll. So that's the way that I play craps. I did not. Some think I did, but it's freaking crazy. Let's just say I've played a lot of craps in my life. No, definitely not. I have just played a lot of craps. Is that even legal? Yeah, of course it's legal. Of course. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to bring up a placemat real quick and show you what I'm talking about. So hold on. Images. Ooh, this one actually gives you better odds. This is not type of odds that I've ever seen, but make it easier for it. So the reason that I don't do the comeback is because you don't get freaking paid on the first roll. So if you do a comeback and it goes on to the 8, you need to roll another 8 to freaking win. What's the point? Like, I need my numbers to hit so I can get my money out, because there's a 16.67% chance that 7's coming out. So I need to hit 4 numbers before that freaking 7 comes. I'm not wasting it on the comeback. Once that point is established, and if it's a 4, I'm getting those numbers right away. I don't have time to waste. Because if I throw 3 comebacks out there and an 8, 9, and 10 hit, I'm not making money on that until they hit again. So I'm not doing it. And I don't care that you can take odds and all that other stuff. I don't care about that stuff. Like, not happening. So. January 2020, and I'll never go back. There's nothing that I can't do in Atlantic City. I'm going there to shoot craps and eat steak. I'm not getting on a plane going to the West Coast to go to Vegas. I have no interest. My buddies are going in January, and one of them called me today. And I said, no. I said, I'm not going on a plane to go to Vegas and you guys go play golf because I don't play golf anymore and freaking no, I'm not doing it. No reason. No, Matt, we don't play the field. I do not play the don't pass. That's the dark side. Bad karma doing that. Can't do it. This could be a decent idea. We'll see. True. Now, I've always said, before I die, I'm going to play, and it's going to happen. I just got to figure out when. But the problem is, I don't know that I can sit there that long and do it. Like, I'm going to do it just to do it, but that's a different style. You need serious mental fortitude for that. I can't do that. I'll have to freaking go get like, I don't know. I'll have to get whatever you use to focus in or whatever. I don't freaking know. All right, guys. If I don't call it now, I am legitimately going to stay on for another hour. I love you guys. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. I am going to go hit the sheets, and I got work in a little bit. So see all you guys tomorrow night. I'll probably put a video out tomorrow before the FinTech Frenzy. If not, I will be live tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So come hang out. And then Saturday night is going to be the big one. Saturday night, 9:30. It's going to be a little of everything. Stocks, movies, food, a little of everything. But yeah, tomorrow night at 10 and Saturday night, 9:30. I don't like asking, but, if you guys could hit the bell notification and appreciate it, subscribe, and go follow Matt, go follow Mick, go follow Tanner, go follow Chris. I mean, they're excellent. They make excellent content. So go follow all of them, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a great night.